Hello? Hello? Hello, everyone. Sorry about the wait, guys. Um, wow, it's been quite the evening. No more scuffing, guys. No more scuffing. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Arknights Challenger Cup Top 8 bracket. Wow. So if y'all don't know what happened, guys, in the last few hours, we have hosted a 64-man bracket tournament, PvP style for Arknights. We dubbed it the Arknights Challenger Cup. And now we are finally at the top 8 players. Today, we're going to be broadcasting that together with Zyrathan. If y'all know, a lot of people know Zyrathan already. She is another fellow Arknights content creator and definitely a niche player as well. Zyrathan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, Vifer's conscience. He's got me locked in the basement. Let me out.
This is a professional tournament.
Hi, I'm Zyrathan. I like birds. That's it.
Wait, that's it?
What else do you want me to say? I don't drink coffee. Jasmine tea is the best tea. The Genshin is killing the Yuri economy.
Anyways, guys, this is Zyrathan. She'll be co-hosting this event with me today. She's another Arknight streamer. If you haven't checked her out already, please do. But yeah, all right, guys. Top 8 bracket. Let's review the bracket real quick that we have gone through. If you are not aware, this tournament has actually been going on for the past almost 3 hours. We started with a open qualifier and then pre-selected the top 64 people to compete in a 1v1 bracket. It's actually been super cool, guys. I want to show you all the bracket real quick. We have it right here. So, Arknights Challenger Cup, 64 players. Unfortunately, we actually had to backfill the 64 players with some did not finishes, DNFs. You see DNF 5, DNF 8, because unfortunately we were actually unable to get 64 players to complete the challenge. But you know what? At that point in time, we have to be fair to our rules. We did say that the players have to complete it within 20 minutes to qualify for the 64-man bracket. So we are a little down on people for the start of the bracket, but we did have a very competitive bracket all the way now to the top 8. Let's review it a little. Open qualifier. That happened at 6 p.m. today, almost 3 hours ago. All right. And what is the open qualifier? Basically, all of these contestants were challenged to do a risk 18 clear with 6 operators that the moderation team banned. And those 6 operators were Ling, who else was it? Ling, Calcit, I believe, Nightingale, La Pluma, Gravel, and who was the last one again?
Elysium.
And Elysium, yes. I forgot about Elysium. So those were the pre-selected bans, and we had quite a lot of different clears that came through. We don't have that information on hand right now, but we did have 54 people pass on from the open qualifier to the 64 bracket, and it was a really festive time, guys. We went one by one. Had 8 different tournament rooms running at the same time, all able to spectate. And now we're here 3 hours later at the top 8 bracket. Let's focus in on a few of our contestants right now. All right. So right here, starting round 4, we have Everest versus Lazy Couch. We're going to start with them very soon. We have Tortoise-chan versus Blue X. Blue X, a very big name in our communities and multiple communities. We'll see how he does today. Arcanine versus Meltup. And Tortoise-chan versus Custard. Very interesting, because if y'all remember, guys, in our mock battles yesterday, Tortoise-chan was actually there and struggling pretty hard. And I think in the messages in the general chat, they actually mentioned practicing for this tournament for 8 to 12 hours up until the start time. So we definitely have some insanely hardcore people today. But yeah, let's turn it back to just general discussion. Zai, what did you think about the tournament overall? Did you watch any interesting niches that come out? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I am astounded by the size of your balls and trying to organize this whole thing. So big kudos to Vifer. Chad, if you don't thank him, I will find you and I will put a bird in your walls and it will keep you awake for the rest of your life. Anyways, with regards to the actual matches, I'm looking forward to seeing how these final 8 play out. There was a lot of variety in some of the matches that I did watch. Some really interesting uses of units that I would never have thought of. So, I think it'll be as much a showcase of speed as much of skill and innovation depending on these bands.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think we did see a variety of bands. A lot of a lot of the matches actually showcase your standard bands. You had Mudrock, Surtur, Calcit, NTR band in a lot of these matchups, but some of them definitely were able to overcome that with a lot more niche clears. I think we saw like a Bird Knights early on in the matches. We saw people using 3 stars and 4 stars as well. So definitely a huge variety, and I think that really goes to show what kind of setup you can have for this specific CC. We'll head into that very soon, but what do you think were some of the most common bans you saw, and kind of what you think about that?
I mean, definitely true damage, which is pretty obvious if you want to stop your opponent from like speed killing Manfred. Obviously that's the way. I only saw a handful of matches and I'm looking forward to see what players bring out for these matches, but there is a way to speed kill Manfred that gets the second wave out way earlier than it should be, but it does require true damage. So again, cutting off that avenue is probably the smartest move for any of our players. Aside from that, there's some other units that could probably change the field, but I'm not sure if I should say right now, because, we've got our 8 contestants waiting in the wings.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they think about that. I think we do have some very strong candidates right now. I think some people, some of our mods actually during the tournament had mentioned how there were a few participants that came in 4-minute clear and out, and it was a very, very quick match. So hopefully we see some very strong players today and very competitive matches. Everyone, quick note. Unfortunately, we have turned off all of the notifications for streams as well as point redemptions. That really is just to keep these games going so that the stream does not last forever and so that there's a just better immersion for the players themselves as they do these 1v1s. On top of that, I do want to mention, guys, if you want to see the bracket at any time, all you have to do is type !bracket. It is being hosted on Challenge, and that's kind of where all the operations are happening. We do have Darian in the background running the tournaments so that we'll have a very seamless experience for y'all to have for y'all to see. And finally, I do want to also give a huge shout out to everyone that has been involved. We do this at the very end as well, but we did have 8 tournament moderators in combination with Zai's moderators and my moderators that have helped run this tournament. So a huge shout out to them. If you do !credits, you can see that as well. We also commissioned special backgrounds for this stream specifically from Rumby. So it'd be great, guys, if we can have a very loud happy birthday Rumby just to really celebrate his involvement in this tournament as well. He's an amazing motion graphic designer, so he really helped with that on such a tight whim. And lastly, I do want to give also a shout out to 2 music creators in our Arknights category. If you all don't know them already, Lappy as well as Isaac Wolf. They both create custom music, completely free to use, copyright-free music for our Arknights community and much larger. They are the bread and butter back support for music and just artists in general for our community. So big shout out to them. Their music was showcased in the opening scene for this stream, and you'll also hear them again in the banning phase as we go into the tournament. So big shout out to really everyone involved in bringing this to life. But we still have a huge tournament ahead of us. I'm very excited to have these guys come on stream and compete in a best of 3 bracket now. So as I mentioned earlier, the previous brackets from top 64 to this point in time have been best of 1, just 1 win and out. But we are going to make it more skill based now and less luck based, and make them a best of 3, first person to 2 points. We'll move up in the bracket. Any additional thoughts, Zai, before we get started?
Well, clearly, Vifer, I think your idea of a best of three bracket is seriously underestimating that someone could just put down Surtur, Manfred could dodge 0 times and they'd win. So, like, what? No, I'm kidding.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? No, that will not happen. Promise. I promise. These guys will come in with very original strats, and we will not have that situation happen.
All right, you guys, you
So
guys heard it here first. If someone lands all their Surtur hits on Manfred while his dodge is up, he's giving away 1 more billion
uh,
Arundum.
okay, that as well. There are some people in this community saying the prize pool is a scam. How many times do I have to say, guys, that for very big tournaments like this, there's no scam. Can you back me up a little on this, I
I can
please?
confirm it's not a scam because he actually paid me when I won Squid Game. But then when he was funding this thing, he like cornered me out back with a fucking like bird cage and was like, "Yo, give me some cash,
What do
Sai."
you mean? Okay. Oh, okay, guys, I'm getting exposed right now. That is not what actually happened. All right, definitely. Anyways, let's move on. Let's see. All right. Let me run some things in the background to make sure that the contestants are ready. Are there any matches in the ones that you've seen on challenge that are interested to you? Like, who are you rooting for at this point? If you know any of these people.
I feel like I shouldn't be rooting for someone that feels like a little biased. Okay, you know what? I'm shutting up.
Okay,
But
you
I
know what?
do
You're right.
recognize a lot of people. I recognize Blue X. I recognize Tachyon a little. I recognize Arcanine, but I don't know why. I 100% recognize Meltup. And I kind of fell asleep through your stream yesterday, but I did watch the VOD. Poor Tortoise-chan. I really hope they place well.
Yeah, Tortoise-chan. I'm very excited to see if they can pull through. They did have a very impressive run earlier. A lot of these people I actually don't recognize. I don't know which communities they've come from. I do recognize some names like Everest. He is actually our first seed, and I'll talk about the seeding in a second. But very, very impressive player. We'll see how he does today as well. But I think overall, we're going to see a variety of different gameplays. Maybe we'll find some niches. But one very interesting thing that we are going to see here is the fact that people now have multiple rounds. They can see what other people are banning in their first round and using in their first round, and thus try to target specific bans. So let's say you have a Bird Knights clear in round one that your opponent sees. They can ban your birds in the next round. Yes, it may open up some of the more meta operators that you used to ban, like Mudrock and Surtur and Calcit, but that does remove their ability to use a specific clear they're very comfortable with. So we'll see how that plays into the final competition.
Oh yeah, the wider someone's roster is, and the more ways to beat the boss in the stage that they've practiced, the better shape they're going to be in. But hold on a second. More importantly, so Vifer, we're in agreement that if Tortoise-chan doesn't bring Korra to every single round, assuming Korra's not banned, they get DQ'd, right?
Uh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
Never mind. Yeah. I don't know what kind of clear I actually don't know what kind of playstyle they have. I unfortunately was not able to watch too many of their clears. But you know what? If you're saying so, then yes, I guess that is the case.
All right.
Let's before we get started, I think Darian right now is managing stuff in the back end. Before we get started, as he gets ready, I do want to show the bracket one final time. One thing I forgot to point out actually is that if you look on the bracket, there are some numbers right next to them, and these are basically the seeds. So if you look at the very left, we have Everest, who's actually the first seeded versus basically I do not qualify. We have Gamkey seeded 32 and 33. Joe Bro. Yeah. So basically, these seeds are how they did in the open qualifier, and the better they did, the higher they placed. And especially for Everest, you see, he placed first, which means that he actually got a free bye because the bottom half was actually, or the bottom 10 contestants were disqualified. And not seeded, of course. So right now, it's very interesting as you look at the seeds because Everest, our number one contestant, made it through the gauntlet, and he is now competing against our 25th seed, Lazy Couch. Next, we have Tachyon, our 29th seed, versus Blue, our 12th seed. We have Arcanine versus Meltup, 15 versus 10, so a lot closer of a matchup right here. And we have 14 versus 27, Tortoise-chan versus Custard. It really goes to show that just because you're able to do a risk 18 clear fast with a very preset number of operators banned, you still need that adaptability as you go beyond the brackets and fight different people with different bans. So yeah, y'all can look at this bracket by doing exclamation mark bracket. We're probably not going to show it again for this part of the stream. But yeah, let's get started with the matches. I think the guys are ready to go. I believe we're going to be starting first with I think we're going to be starting first with who's our first set of contestants? Sorry, I think Darian's still doing stuff in the background. Hey, Zai, can you make some bird noises so that we can stall a little?
キモいキモいキモいキモいキモいマジでキモい本当キモい最低本当最低さっさと消えてよあんたのが大嫌い大大大大嫌い
I think I meant real English. Okay, God damn it, dude.
How does it feel to get scammed, Viper?
It's okay. It's okay. I deserve this, honestly. You know, it's funny because you know, I think someone earlier was like, you know, let's hope Viper doesn't get bullied for doing this. You know, I get bullied every single time I come on stream. So what am I asking for? And while we have our co-host bullying me as well, so what can I say? Okay, I think we're ready to go, chat. Our first two contestants will be Everest versus Lazy Couch. All right, we're gonna have their bands come up very soon, but this will be our first match, our first seed versus 25. I'm excited to see what kind of things come out. So this will be our first match, so I'm actually gonna be laser focused. This is the first time I'll be laser focused on watching a full match. Where do you think people along the stage can save the most time for this CC?
Actually going to say something a bit different about that. Obviously, killing Manfred is going to be the big thing, but in a lot of the matches I watched, the Manfred kill did get off perfectly, but the runs failed to the 4 gifts that spawned immediately after in Wave 2 because they devoted so many resources to Manfred. So I think it's actually going to end up being more of a test of resource management rather than any specific speed or stalling this time.
Really? Okay, that's a little surprising. I think I did see a lot of clears that it seemed like the other person was ahead, but then suddenly out of nowhere, it seemed like they were doing like a stall strat or something, or bursting with the nuke. The nuke really does make a very big difference in this entire CC.
Yeah, cannon control is honestly kind of underrated. Obviously, if you can tank through it, there's no problem, and we are in week 2, so there is a free cannon damage up risk. But I think, yeah, that cannon management is going to really come in clutch for some players, or you know, kill their runs. Either way.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very curious to see what these guys come up with. The fact is, they've been able to spy on each other, or in a way, like learn about how each other play over time. So if they actually did that research, maybe they'll have some counter bans. I'm excited to see that. I think we are basically ready to go. Any final words before we get started?
Wait, why are you asking me? I'm not the one in the gladiator arena.
Okay, true. I'm just stalling, guys. Okay. No more stalling, guys. I think we are ready. Let us get started with our first top 8 bracket. Welcome to quarterfinals. Let's get started. So, we're going to be entering the banning phase very soon for these two players. We have Everest versus Lazy Couch. Let's see what kind of bans will come out. All right. I'm hoping that they actually don't go for the traditional bans, but maybe it's actually smart for round 1 to be focused on, you know, the most popular bans so that you can feel out you can feel out your opponent. That might be a very smart strategy.
I don't know. They're going for some pretty non-traditional bans already.
Oh, are they? Let's see what comes up. I'd be very surprised if I saw, I guess, like a non-meta ban at this point.
Oh yes, I can't wait for someone to ban Flamebringer.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely gonna happen. But look, we do have our first ban in from Everest. It is going to be Mudrock, a very popular ban. We've seen her in a lot of competition, and she's basically one of the best operators to stall out the nukes. Wait, what do we have right there? Do you see that?
Yeah, I know. Hey, is this like, are you trying to like fight me or something? I'm not in the bracket, you know.
I mean, I'm a little surprised when a bird gets banned. Wow, we have a Fartooth ban. Fartooth being, I gotta say, a little more niche operator. Do you think Fartooth is very powerful in this CC?
Fartooth is powerful if you know how to use her. There's two different straightaways that Manfred can be camped on, but he does like moving out of them very quickly, so you need to find a way to either stall him or keep him in place somehow so Fartooth can get her full skill off on him. And then obviously if you go too high with certain risks, you're going to not be able to kill him at all, but this is just a risk 18 thing, so I don't anticipate that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think, Mudrock, Fartooth bands really, really good. We're having Saria come in as well. Very interesting. Actually, not targeting the Calcit in this batch so far. We have NTR as another ban. Very, very popular operator. She's an incredible true damage. I think one of the best, if not the best, true damage in this phase. And final two bans, we have Hoshiguma and Calcit. What do you think about these bans?
It's really interesting. It looks like Everek is trying to ban stalling or holding out, which is really odd because it feels like you would want your opponent to stall and waste time unless, of course, Everett knows something about Couch's roster that I don't. And then, of course, Couch is going for the quote-unquote true damage options, the two operators that can do true damage, and the one that can pierce through Manfred's BS dodge.
Okay, let's see how that turns out. I think the match is about to begin. We'll see them start at the same time. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what kind of risks and what kind of squads they go for. All right, and there they go. All right, both of them going pretty quick.
Taking tier 3s? Interesting. They both took the same tier 3s. Well, I guess it's free if you leak the hate drinkers and take the cannon risk, now that I think about it. I still don't know what they were thinking, putting a cannon up risk in the second week.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about that. Would you say that risk creates a huge difference in a speedrun clear?
It does mean that you don't have to waste as much time on the gifts, you know, those big slugs with the horns, and also given that those are some of the biggest threats, and yeah, I think that it does. I mean, come on, that's 4 free risks. Creatures 3 and Cannon 1, that's 4, and then you're basically just doing a risk 14, honestly.
Wow. Well, we'll see how they do. It looks like right now Everest is actually speeding ahead.
Everett, how could you? I thought he was about a cannon call with Arquetto, and then it redirected to Bagpipe.
I don't know what kind of strategy. I haven't seen this one before.
Disappoint.
I think Lazy Couch is struggling right now with his phone. Is everything okay over there?
Yeah, and Everett's paused. Wait. Hello?
Oh, okay. Everest pausing for his rival right now, waiting for him to start the game. I think there is a bit of a lag issue. Okay, that's good sportsmanship, guys. That's good. Everest Giga Chad for sure. I think he is waiting for his opponent to at least load into the stage before he starts again. But that's okay. Only a little behind. We do see that across the entire stage, it does take some time to get ramped up, but it's actually a lot easier to catch up as time goes on. So maybe, you know, Everest right now being a gentleman, but Lazy Couch might slowly catch up, may creep up on him, and come out with a faster clear.
I think we're going to start seeing the biggest time differentials when the Manfred kill starts coming out, and also in how they handle Wave 2. I mean, obviously it's easiest to just call a cannon down, but I don't know. I haven't really seen anyone try and take on Wave 2 by just, like, damaging the things to death. It's really impractical.
Yeah, we'll have to see where the actual time differential starts, because I think Everest is actually deciding to wait until they tie up.
Yep, they matched. That's one cannon call each.
Oh,
Giga Chad.
Yeah, huge Giga Chad. Huge respect to Everest. Even though the selection of the risks as well as the squad is baked into the tournament itself, he decided to wait until his opponent is at the exact moment that he is at in the map.
I mean, at that point, then it just even if Everett can pull this off, then it demonstrates even more that this is just purely 100% skill and not at all luck and hitting Manfred shield.
Yeah, for
all right,
sure.
Here we go. There's a oh wow, okay, there's that Arquetto shield. shield pop, and now our Keto's got a full SP bar that kills one enemy. You know, we're gonna talk after this, right?
I think it's all calculated. He knows every single small detail that he's playing. It seems like he does have this in the back of his mind and calculated, so we'll have to see how he does for the rest of the map. Lazy Couch right now, unfortunately playing on like 3 FPS. I'm not sure how he's doing it. The screen's glitching half the time, but he's making it through. You know, a little behind in enemies, but he has a huge stack. And I think his game just... what's going on right there? Oh no.
Sculptor happened, that's what.
This is the definition of PC diff.
Really interesting to see how the Silver Ashes are being used here. Everick using Silver Ash out of the way to get rid of the Hate Drinkers and do some damage to Manfred, while on Couch's screen, Silver Ash is taking out basically the entire bottom side and then ate shit and died, courtesy of the cannon.
Wow. I am genuinely curious how Lazy Couch is going to catch up at this point. Everest doing it.
Oh!
Oh no! What happened right there?
Everick called in wave 2 too early. At that stage, there's one drone leaving the left side, the 2 drones coming in, and the bind caster coming down the center. If you only have a ranged unit to tank that, they're not going to last very long. And even if you do have a ranged and ground unit, that caster just hits really, really hard, especially if you haven't taken that bind off of him yet.
Oh gosh, huge mistake coming out of Everest right now. But oh my no, what is he doing? He's going for another restart. Lazy Couch also going for a restart. The round has been reset.
I'm telling you, Vifer, it's not about how you kill Manfred. It's about how many resources you have to bring against Wave 2, because Wave 2 is killer.
Wow. I am a little shocked right now. Both of these participants, I actually don't know if they struggled to get out of top 64 like this, but it seems like they're both struggling to get this clear working for both of them. These bans may actually be very troublesome.
Now I'm really wondering where that Fartooth ban is coming into play. Like, was it a flat DPS ban, or was it actually used in the open qualifiers? Now I'm really wondering.
Yeah, that's actually very smart. If I was a participant in this, I would probably take some time studying up what they did in the open qualifier, and maybe even looking back at some of the channels to look at what they banned and what was banned. But clearly, maybe that Fartooth ban, because you see the snipers that Everest is using right now, that it was actually calculated.
But there is a Pawsey, and even though Pawsey only gets dodge on, well, herself and not the typewriter, that's still a lot of damage that hits through Manfred's cloak. In fact, I think that's how the kill got done for the first phase, so... I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only ever killed Manfred one way, so this is all honestly very new and novel to me.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting clear. I'm actually not too aware of the way to deal with Manfred, but there are some players that do decide to wait until Manfred does almost a full circle, which does take a lot of time away versus players that try to brute force him from the very beginning of the map.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, we've got, what, 15 minutes per match per set right now, so honestly, I wonder if it's going to start coming down to consistency over speed, where we start seeing more stall outs as players learn that maybe trying to rush a Manfred kill and losing your wave 2 isn't the best way to go about this.
Yeah, that is the case. Right now, we have on Everest's screen, we have Silver Ash dealing a lot of damage right now, blocking with that bagpipe, Posey dealing a lot of damage. Oh, that Manfred's getting shredded.
On the bottom on Couch, oh, never mind, I was about to say that's a strategy readjustment. Silver Ash not getting sent to Brazil. Neural's dead now, but Silver Ash is down and is going to get his full True Silver Slash off on those bottom enemies, which was different from last time, I believe. So that's looking good for Couch.
Yeah, that's looking very good. It does look like Silver Ash, even with the dodge from Manfred, is going to take out Manfred eventually. Everest right now.
And can I say, Everick with a very masterful use of Scotty, using Scotty to call in the cannon and then immediately using her module revive to finish off Manfred. Very well done.
Oh my god, I was even watching Everest's screen and Manfred's dead! Where did he go?
So basically, if you blinked and missed it, what Everick did was hid all the operators on the field in the vents, made sure no one was out, got the cannon charged to full, dropped Scotty. Scotty got killed by the cannon, and with Manfred's dodge removed, Scotty now revives and kills Manfred. So very excellent use of that module right there.
Wow, and just like that, Everest takes round 1 with a very masterful clear. Definitely, took a second try, but still, nonetheless, came out with the W. We're going to be moving on to round 2. All right.
They reban, right?
Yes, they'll be going for a reban. We'll have Darian set that up in the background, but what do you think about match?
That was very interesting. I'm not 100% sure where the strats went wrong on those first attempts, but clearly Everett got things under control for the second run. It seems like it's coming down to just very nuanced cannon control for now.
Yeah, it seems like the cannon is very important. And I realized that one of the biggest strats I've been seeing across all these matches is actually timing the cannon and then dealing a ton of damage right afterwards. So not necessarily to Manfred, sorry, to clarify. It seems like that's something I've seen a lot, or like basically placing DPS out of Manfred's range, nuking Manfred with the tip of the nuke, and then just bursting him down with non-true damage units.
Yeah, if you're banning Cal and NTR every match, that is definitely the way you have to go. Or, I mean, obviously you could try stalling, but that's not as good of a plan, given that we're in a time crunch tournament, suppose. So, yeah, if you don't have Fartooth, you don't have Pawsey, then your best bet is just call in a cannon. What ends up happening, though, is that since you can't use cannon for the left side, our players are going to have to devote some resources to taking care of that, but as you saw with Everett, that was just handled very well by Arketo and Horn.
Yeah, exactly. Very good clear from Everett. He did take the first round, but we're going to be entering the ban phase now for the second round of this first match between Everest and Lazy Couch. The bans are already on the table.
Looks like Couch is trying to cut off Everett's sniper strats, and Everett is sticking with pretty established bans. Interesting, though. Hey, can I mention what they are? Or?
Oh, yeah, you can. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're all on the stream already, so don't worry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting to see a Sculptor ban. I would have anticipated that Sculptor's a little less on the priority list for a ban, given that, she likes committing unalive when doing true damage. What's her name? I forgot.
Who?
Wait. Wait, Couch forgot who he wants to ban?
We're getting some scuff in the back end, but Couch literally types, "What's her name?"
Arketo! Oh no! That's a triple sniper ban! Holy crap!
Oh my god, so right here we have Lazy Couch going for a triple sniper, Fartooth, Posey, and Arketo ban. Very surprising. He's very much trying to take over Everest's not bird knights, just snipers in general.
Yeah, that high ground advantage, especially when you consider it, Arketo's shield is a free cannon call anywhere on the map. So that is something that has to be considered when thinking about using or banning Arketo. And then the final ban from Everett, NTR, which actually leaves Calcid open for use. Are the players going to go for it? Let's find out.
Wow, very, I would say more standard bans coming out from Everest. I think he definitely has to change his strategy out here, given that a lot of his previous strategy was dependent on these snipers. So very interesting turn of events for the bans, but let's honestly get into the stage.
And while we're getting started, I think it's really interesting. We're going to see how these bans play out, but there's the potential for, if you play too niche, your opponent can get away with banning things that are useful just to you and leave themselves open for you to basically only use 3 bans and make it impossible to take out all of the meta or like major units. As you can see with this ban set, we've got Cal in play, Nightingale also in play, and yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see if these players decide to take that advantage or just stick to a tried and true strategy.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious because this is all about the mind games. Now that a lot of these niche operators have been banned from Couch's side, he does leave those operators open for both of them to use. So let's see how they both adapt. Everest heading into the stage first with that Elysium placement. It looks like he's a lot more, straightforward and very decisive with his squads.
Well, the opener is probably not going to change that much, given that, well, we haven't had lane holder bans like Bagpipe, Mountain, La Pluma yet. So, In this case, having speed in the opening is going to matter a lot, so you have more time to just waffle around with pausing and thinking later on in the map.
Yeah, we're also seeing actually a very interesting Nien and Eunectus pick. What do you think about those operators in Everest's team?
Eunectus, depending on the skill, I can see Eunectus being a Manfred shutdown, also depending on the risk. Eunectus, one of her skills is to stun, so she can keep Manfred on lock with that. And then, of course, Nian on deploy gets 3 shields that negate any incoming source of damage. So that could be anything from Manfred baiting to cannon calling, or even holding back some mobs while waiting for a cannon to drop in. Or, you know, maybe he intends to actually use the Nian buff. Who knows?
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. So he's going for a strategy that plays around having the higher block count for the nukes. On the other side, we have Lazy Couch. He took a horn. That's very interesting.
Yo, hold up. We've got a spawn kill from Everick.
Oh my, wait, is Manfred dead?
That's phase 1.
No way, that was so
That's
fast.
phase 1.
So, what do you think about speed running killing Manfred? Doesn't that speed the stage a lot? Sometimes people use the middle of the stage to actually reset their runs and make sure that all their cooldowns are up.
Well, I actually think that if you're talking about in terms of pure speed, it's actually advantageous to wait until a specific moment to kill Manfred, because if you do that, like I mentioned earlier, you can force wave 2 out very early. But with regards to actually getting Manfred like into phase and getting the cannon call, earlier also helps, because you know, he gives you 2 free cannon shots during his transition phase and when he's in phase 2 walking around. So if you know where you're going to call those shots in or how you plan to damage Manfred, like, you can 100% use those to your advantage. And there we go. That's the Silver Ash clear into the monster kill on Manfred. And it looks like Everick is pretty set, honestly.
That is crazy. I don't even know how he did it, because knowing the kind of timing that is required to pull something like that off, making sure that you have the nukes set with the correct operators based off of placement order, a lot of that requires a lot of skill and repetition. So it looks like he definitely has a strategy down. Lazy Couch on the other side, he's making it through as well. He bursted down Manfred early on as well, so he is going for an earlier strat. Similar setup using Calcit as a main DPS, but he is very behind compared to enemy count.
Yes, and I'm not sure if that's just, you know, lag and PC emulator issue, or if that's also Everick's very skillful like pretty much instantaneous kills of Manfred at work there. And I mean, yeah, that drone's going to kill itself. That slug is on its way out. This is a clear victory for Everick.
Wow. And just like that, Everett gets the 2-0 over Lazy Couch. Congratulations, Everest. You are proceeding to the top 4 of this tournament. Very, very skillful clear from Everest. And hey, Lazy Couch, it was a good try, dude. Unfortunately, Everest did have the better PC and the faster clear, so congratulations to you for making it so far as well. You actually do walk away with a $10 prize. So not a scam. Oh, wow. All right. And just like that, we are done with the first match. That was pretty good. I mean, what did we expect from the first seed, Everest? This guy definitely seems like he has adaptability.
100%. I wonder how much Everick's been practicing. I know Tortoise-chan mentioned practicing for several hours before the tournament, but you have to wonder, what about people who practiced and just don't talk about it, so they'll be seen as a lesser threat?
Exactly. I've actually haven't seen any messages in the entire Discord server from Everest before that discussing strategies. We actually had quite a lot of people just discussing different strategies, showing their times, disclosing how fast they are. But he's been kind of hidden in the dark, and look at him. He's doing very well, and he's made it to the top 4.
Speaking of things coming out to surprise us, I wonder if we're going to start seeing some Silver Ash bans now, given that I had initially thought that Everick was going to be taking Tier 3 Hate Drinker and just leaking them, but clearly not. With Silver Ash, you can actually just get them into their slug forms early and take them out with the cannon, or
Uh-huh.
even if Silver Ash gets enough time with them, he'll just wipe them out. So I wonder if we're going to start seeing more Silver Ash bans just to counter the invisibility reveal and the high amount of damage going out.
Yeah, that is very true. I think Silver Ash as a ban was actually pretty highly talked about by a lot of these people. Him being able to see those invisible enemies, that does actually make it a lot easier because at such a high risk, you're able to actually clear out those before they even start walking. But that does come at a disadvantage, I guess, because if you do decide to ban Silver Ash, that does lead to other operators being open to getting used. So we actually saw quite. I think Mudrock was Mudrock banned in both of the rounds.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. So, do you think Mudrock is like a huge threat in speedrunning this stage, or do you think that she can easily be replaced by other operators?
I'm gonna be honest, I actually disagree with Mudrock being a cornerstone ban, because she's got such longevity that she's basically going to be staying on the field, soaking up all the hits, unless you're like throwing down Monster as a fast redeploy bait, or an unlucky timing of caster and cannon takes her out. So she's actually eating up cannon shots that you could be redirecting elsewhere onto the field, or making you use resources to like take that cannon call away from her. So
Hmm.
honestly, I would probably not be using Mudrock at all. You have better lane holding options than Mudrock to camp slugs. So honestly, I hope we start seeing some bans phasing away from Mudrock.
That's actually very interesting. I think when I first started doing this CC and pushing for Risk 18, people had always said like the no-brainer strategy is to just have Mudrock hold the left side so you can focus and DPS down on the right end. But it seems like the faster option is actually to use those nukes in different areas of the map to stun Manfred, to stun all the other enemies and destroy them in one hit. Would you say that because on week 2 we have a cannon tag, that Mudrock actually becomes less useful as just like a left lane holder?
Think it's necessarily that the cannon got stronger. I think it's that with the stronger cannon, priority shifts to the gifts, which are, the actually threatening slugs. And also like just the fact that the enemies coming down the left side, with the exception of the Sarkaz binding caster, are not a threat at all. And you can outrange that caster. Any rapid fire unit like Cantabile skill 2, Arketo, Exia, Ash, anything that does rapid fire damage and can outrange that caster should be able to take care of it. So why devote a high DP and cannon calling unit like Mudrock when you can just like throw down a sniper or two and then go on with your day?
No, that's very interesting. I think maybe that's why in like the later rounds when we saw sorry, in the second round when we saw between Everest and Lazy Couch, where Everest took like just some defenders. He took Eunectus. I guess Eunectus is a little different because she's a one block, but that's actually very interesting though, because even though she's a one block, you can kind of time her ability to give her more blocks, right? Isn't that kind of a little interesting when you try to I guess time that nuke?
Yeah, any form of block manipulation will be really interesting playing with that cannon. But in Everett's Clear, I believe Eunectus only ever went down on a smoke grill or like that little
Oh,
invisibility vent. So at that point, I think Yoon was just brought for her like, tankiness.
I see. That does make a lot of sense. I think right now we're still waiting for the next match to start. It will be between Tachyon and Blue X. Blue X being a more popular name here. I think he's been around the streams. He's interacted with a lot of people. Tachyon, I haven't seen before this. We'll have to see how he does, but he actually was talking a lot in the Discord server. He talked a lot, said he was super excited for this. He's practiced a lot as well, so he definitely did not, lie about that. He's made it this far. It's so far very, very impressive of a player, so we'll have to see how it goes. So I'm getting pinged, and I realize I've actually mispronounced his name. His name is Tachyon. My bad.
Yeah, it's a particle vifer.
It's a what?
It's a particle, in like physics. It's a particle. Like a quark, a tachyon,
Uh,
vifer.
no,
Uh,
I don't get it. Is that an actual thing? Is it?
vifer. You took physics, right, in high school, right?
Asians have short-term memory. That's their hidden skill.
What?
Like, we're just good at short-term memory. Like, what's it called? Stuff your mouth and dump. What's cock and
What?
dump? What's the phrase?
What?
Wait, what's the phrase, guys?
What?
Can someone help me here? Guys, y'all are making this very awkward. Guys, this should not be awkward.
What?
What's it called? Oh, pump and dump. Wait, that doesn't really make
Huh?
sense. Does that make sense? Okay, guys.
I'm concerned for you, Vifer. Did you eat something weird for dinner?
No, maybe.
Did you eat
Actually,
dinner at all?
I had some damn good Indian pizza. I love that shit.
Oh man.
Hina bought it. So shout out to Hina.
I mean, if we want to stall, I can tell you a very stupid story involving pizza.
Do we need to stall? Let's see. We need to stall for 30 seconds.
Okay,
All
I'll
right,
give you
let's
the
stall for 30
condensed version.
seconds. Go ahead.
Be me, be young, playing competitive PvP, hungry, go to fridge, get something that looks like pizza, put in microwave oven, do match, come back, grab thing that looks like pizza. Interim between matches is only 30 seconds, so I'm not actually looking at this quote-unquote pizza. Lift pizza to mouth, take bite. On the comms, you can hear me screaming, "This isn't fucking pizza!" Anyways, I had just grabbed naan bread out of the fridge and thought it was pizza for half an hour.
You were that distracted.
I was also young and stupid.
Oh my god. Well, that just goes to show don't multitask. We can't do that here.
Multitasking is actually not a thing. It's just your brain switching between functions very rapidly. Cope harder.
Yeah, that's some heavy copium. Let's go look over at chat real quick. I think right now we have a prediction up between Tachyon and Blue X. We have a pretty big divide. I think because people know Blue X and how hard he tries, he's actually a lot of people are betting on him. A ton. 35k points. Have you seen Blue X gameplay?
Kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I don't know it that much. I just know that he's a budget player, lower spender, a non-Leviathan. I think that's the way to describe it.
Man, he's missing out on a pun. If he was a whale, he could be a blue whale. But bum. Okay, we'll be here. We'll be here all week, guys.
What? Okay, I think the contestants are almost ready. Blue X did have a little technical difficulties there, but I think we're about to start. I'm actually very excited to see this match. Blue X being a fan favorite to get through the gauntlet. I think definitely goes to show from chat. So we'll have to see how he does. Tachyon, not a player to be underestimated though. He's done pretty well. So I'm curious if this match is going to be one-sided. Maybe it'll be even. Maybe we'll see a true best of 3 going 1-1 into the 2-1. I think they're okay. Never mind. I think Blue X is gone again.
Tech issues?
Yeah. So a little background on what's going on right now. Tachyon is fine. I think he's playing on an emulator, and he has a PC. It's working. Blue X is actually doing this entire tournament from his phone.
Not sure if Giga Chad or Masochist at this point.
Isn't that crazy? So you can see, I'm trying to not dox him because the second we go to the page, we're gonna dox him. But he's going between his Discord and he's messaging, and then he's going to the game. It's like it is so scuffed. But you know what? The fact that he's made it to the top 8 doing that just goes to show. It doesn't matter if you don't need a damn good a device. You just need to be a good player.
And have the patience of gods.
And that too, yes.
And not fat finger your
one
phone.
other thing I wanted to mention. One match that I've actually been, or one contestant that I've actually been following through the bracket that unfortunately did not make it to the top 8 was Thomas Stray Cat. I don't mean to call him out at this point, but Thomas Stray Cat, he was doing an amazing job through the bracket, got to the top 16 and actually lost by just a few seconds to Tachyon. So we have Tachyon, You know, he defeated Thomas Stray Cat. We know how good of a player Thomas Stray Cat is, you know? So
Tama, you were supposed to be the Niche Knight's brother in arms. You failed us.
no, Tama, no. It's funny because when I was watching their final match, both of them were scuffing a little because it wasn't a clean speed run. It was more like, you know, both players were playing. One person messed up, another person messed up. So the nerves probably got to them.
Listen, at this difficulty, speed is a suggestion. Consistency is the name of the game.
Yeah. Oh, oops. I think getting called out again for calling him Tachyon. Tachyon.
Why do you like calling him Tachyon so much? Are you like itchy? Is that why, Vifer?
Itchy?
I don't know. So how's Beluga?
Oh, he's leaving. He's leaving us
What?
forever.
What?
Yeah. Oh, guess what though? The match is about to begin. If you can actually look at the bans on stream, it'll be a lot easier because right now, Darren does it one by one, so you may see it a little before them. But if you can, I guess, just watch the bans on stream, that'll be a lot easier. Okay, are you ready, Zarthan? For
Can I go get some tea?
Pizza?
No, tea.
Oh yeah, you can go. I'll hold the
Okay,
floor for now. Yeah, go ahead. All right.
I'm escaping the basement. Goodbye, guys.
Yep. Yeah, goodbye. All right, guys. Let's do this. Welcome to the banning phase of match 2 between Blue and Tachyon. Yes. All right, looks like the bans are already in. We have Blue X going from the very beginning, banning NTR. Okay, starting out with a very powerful ban. I think we discussed before. It's probably better to use the first round, ban the most meta units as possible to feel out your opponent, see what kind of niche they are playing. Tachyon on the right side. Banning La Pluma. Interesting. Very interesting to ban the La Pluma. We know that she is actually a very, very good lane holder, does a lot of damage and good sustain with the self-heal. We'll see how that ban actually interacts with both players' strategy. Blue X going for that Calcit ban. Okay, so it looks like Blue X is actually trying to ban all of the important units. All right, Zarthan.
Man, why is everyone banning my birds? This is discrimination.
Yeah, we're just getting rid of La Pluma. But what do you think about La Pluma? Is she very strong in the CC?
I mean, given that Bird Knight uses her to lane hold pretty much up until the second wave, and she has absolutely no difficulty whatsoever, I think La Plume is a pretty solid pick. Now, is banning a lane holder over banning a DPS unit the right call? Not sure, but if having a lane holder is central to your strategy and La Pluma is your best, your best candidate, then I can see how that ban would be really debilitating to someone who needs that.
Yeah, for sure. Right now we have Blue X also banning Mudrock and Tachyon choosing to ban Thorns. Wow, we're banning Box too. Like, what do you think about that? What do you think? Why do you think he's trying to ban Thorns?
Well, Thorns S2 is a valid counter against the slugs, but maybe they just didn't like Box 2's face reveal.
Maybe that is the case. Finishing it off with a bagpipe ban. Okay, so not a flag bearer, but still a very strong Vanguard. Does incredible damage in this CC. Let's see how both of these players do in their first match together. Remember, this is a best of 3. So even if they fail this one, they do have another chance. Let's see how they do. Welcome to the match. All right.
Let's see what risks they take. All right, looks like a lot of the same ones. The Tier 3 Hate Drinker and Tier 3 Reborn. Of course, the Cannon. You know what'd be really funny, Vifer?
What would be funny?
What if someone took Tier 3 Slugs and forgot to take Tier 1 Cannon? Now that would be funny.
Oh, are those two risks usually bundled up together?
Pretty much. I mean, Tier 3 Slugs gives them, what, 4,000-ish HP, and then Cannon 1 takes the cannon up to 4,000 true damage, so, you know, 1 for 1.
Wow. So that does mean that you can't really deploy a stall strategy, even using, like, Mudrock, for example, because if those slugs are so tanky, if they do deal so much damage, there's no way for you to get around it unless you nuke them.
I mean, you could just hit them enough times where the chip damage goes through their, like, 90% damage mitigation and, like, you cope your way to victory, but that's a pretty roundabout way of doing it. It's easier to just go with the cannon, let's be real.
Wow, look right here. Tachyon had to reroll his support units 3 times. So he is a little behind. Blue right now starting the stage 20 or 30 seconds earlier than him. We'll see if that makes a big difference.
Future competitors, you know you can roll your support unit early if you know what you want, eyebrow waggle.
That is true. That is big brain, though. Unfortunately, there are actually a lot of ways for contestants to probably think of plans. You know, I feel like a lot of them maybe have like a notebook written down, or like they have an extra like notepad open for different squad combinations. I feel like I would do that if I was playing in this tournament. Wait.
Yeah, honestly,
Did you
I would
see that?
see that. Yeah, Blue X leaking a caster. That's honestly a strat that I've employed in handholds. Where
What?
why would the caster can't be killed by a cannon, right? But why would you devote a resource to killing one enemy when you can just leak it and guarantee a full sweep of the other side, where you also have like concurrent threats like Manfred, the Hate Drinkers, and their slugs? So just focus all your DPS on one side and don't worry so much about what's happening with the casters. Although for Risk 18 I wouldn't advise it though. But it's a strategy.
Wow. Okay. So I was just informed that the score was not reset. So that was the only time we scuffed tonight. So no more scuffing. No more.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. No more scuffing, guys. But hey, what do you think about this conviction pick from Blue?
Conviction is blue.
Okay. What happened to these guys?
I think they got cannoned.
Huh. Okay. Well, very interesting.
It's just first try nerves. You know, they've got it. They've got it. Second first try, 100%. Right?
True.
Like,
Yes.
Isn't that how this goes?
Yeah, I think maybe they're probably trying to make their opponent feel like they got it. You gotta throw a little before you actually put down the speed run.
Okay, so clearly the reason that Blue X is bringing Conviction is because if you bring someone with a lower RNG chance than Manfred, then you'll out RNG Manfred, and then Manfred's RNG will become non-RNG. This is how you sound, Vifer. What are you looking at me for?
What do you mean? That logic does not make sense.
Are you kidding? Have you watched your own bots?
All right. Anyways. Right now, both players have restarted right now. Blue X still championing that conviction for whatever reason, probably trying to get a crowd reaction, but we'll see if he's actually able to use it to his advantage. Tachyon pulling ahead a little. It looks like he has a better idea this time around. Let's see how he does.
Oh, okay. Wait, Blue just sacrificed Conviction.
Oh. Was that
Alright.
calculated?
I mean, yes, but it's very interesting still electing to leak that caster rather than confront it. I really want to see how this plays out for Blue in the second half of the map, given that with the amount of threats present, even 1 HP seal could mean the difference between winning and losing if you lose control of your wave 2.
Yeah, I'm a little curious. The options that he went with is very niche. He has a few 6 stars such as Ashe. He has Chen, normal Chen, but and then Lumen, and that's about it. Isn't that surprising?
Do you know what Blue X's niche is, Vifer?
I actually don't know. I don't know what
It's
niche he plays.
Blue Knights.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they play units with blue hair. Their name is Blue X Vifer.
Bruh. There's no way, dude. Half his roster ain't blue.
I mean, why do you think they've got a leveled conviction, man?
Oh my god, dude, no. Okay, well, let's focus in on okay, Blue X using this round to test stuff up. I actually haven't seen him fail this much throughout the entire bracket, but Tachyon right now, 35 enemies in. He's doing a pretty good job.
I wonder if Tachyon managed to like land a killer blow with one of those bands, which honestly don't seem to be like that bad in comparison. La Pluma, Thorns, and Bagpipe, I mean, those aren't the units that you would normally go to ban first and foremost, but Blue X is clearly having difficulty getting past the first section of this map, so you have to wonder if Tachyon's bands were actually like surgical strikes.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. If you're Tachyon at this point, it's actually very interesting what he's done. He may have chosen those lesser bans so that less meta operators, like, you know, very strong operators could be banned, I guess, in general, and he could use them. Or maybe he was actually, like you mentioned, going for a decisive attack on Blue's team. Maybe he did research Blue and what he did take, what he cleared with the in the open qualifier. So this may be part of his strategy. Oh my god, no! Tachyon, no!
What? I'm actually surprised Tachyon decided to go for the reset there. Now, clearly Tachyon was intending on leaking those 2 invisible hate drinkers, but something went wrong with that caster, and I'm really surprised that he didn't pull it back there.
Oh,
But
no.
returning to the topic of Blue X's bans, one has to wonder how much Tachyon actually knows about Blue X's roster. Like, where did he like get a good look at it during the open qualifiers and realize, hey, there's not a lot of heavy damage units, so I can get away with banning lane holders, and then he'll have neither.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thorns and La Pluma being a very, very strong lane holder for more off-meta squads. I think we did spend some time in our discussion with the moderation team, you know, what are the most powerful units to ban in this case? But it really turns out that sometimes if you practice so much using your niche squads, if you're so used to not even relying on the meta ops, that sometimes in a situation like this, you may not even know what to do when you have access to those operators.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, that's always the danger of specializing too much into a niche or even a certain play style where once those are taken away, you still have like the whole wide world of meta operators and DPS, like DPS gods out there. But do you know how to use them? Is your knowledge up to date? And if it's not, that's really going to punish you, even if you have those powerful units.
Yeah, is that something that you find yourself in a situation, given that you play such a niche?
Well, there was that one time I was doing a handhold for cc10 and I had it in the bag and then I forgot that Surtur only blocks 1 because when you put down an Art's Guard and activate their skill, they're supposed to have 2 block.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know that situation because I'm a master of Surtur, so I can't relate. I'm sorry.
All right, this man hates Estasia. I can't be her anymore. Hina, get in here.
What do you mean? I didn't say that! All right, focusing back up. It looks like Blue X has actually pulled ahead right now. I'm not sure if he's on phase 1 or phase 2 of Manfred.
Ooh, that is probably phase 2 Manfred, given that the 2 drones are out on the left side, and that was a masterful cannon call. However, Manfred is going to start ramping back up very soon. And, oh, hold on a second. I was wondering if the gummy stall was enough to slow him down, but no, Manfred's attack speed only resets every 6 seconds or upon switching to another target. So clearly not. And here we see Blue X using Conviction as a tank for their 4000 HP, which is Conviction's primary notable stat. Very interesting. Oh, there goes Cutter.
Oh no,
and
that
Blue
was
X has lost
key.
control of it.
No, for a second I thought he had it. He was preparing to nuke the left side and basically only have Manfred left. He was so close.
If I had to guess, that cannon call came in at just the wrong time. If I had to guess, Blue X was aiming to have it come in on Cutter, the slugs, and Manfred rounding that corner, but it was 1 or 2 hits too late.
Do you think in that case Blue X should have placed the Cutter on the other side maybe or do you think Manfred would have tagged him anyways?
No, I think it might have just come down to a bit of difficulty in controlling Manfred's attacks. Maybe with Gummy, since you know Gummy does have that stun auto RNG. And for those of you in the chat who don't know necessarily what this is about, Manfred charges the cannon by 6 SP per hit, 12 SP per hit if you take his left side risks, meaning that if you bait Manfred's attacks, you can actually use him to control when the cannon comes in. If I had to guess, Blue X missed Manfred landing a hit and was 6 seconds behind, and that's why the Cutter timing didn't work out.
That does make a lot more sense. We'll see if these guys can actually clear this round, but we are rounding out very close to sudden death mode at this point. Chat, if you are not aware, to prevent a situation where these players go on forever, after 15 minutes of trying it with these bans, there is a sudden death mode that gets put in place. So we'll explain that later if it does occur, but we are rounding out that sudden death mode very soon.
So in sudden death mode, if neither player manages to complete a run, does that mean you get the money?
Yeah, I just keep it actually. So that's actually good. I kind of want that to happen.
I'm reporting you to the IRS.
I'm kidding! Oh my god! But I think because this is a best of 3, this will only be for this one round. So depending on whether we actually get there or not, it'll just be a winner for this round, and then we'll move on to the next bans. Because maybe these bans are actually what's causing these both of these players to have these issues, and they may actually be observing their opponents right now to try to counterban their new strategy. So we'll see if a switch up in bans in the next round will actually make things easier for one of the players.
If they're watching their opponent instead of keeping their eyes on the road, maybe the reason they haven't beaten the stage is because they aren't keeping their eyes on the road.
Okay, that's true. You know what? They're probably not looking at their opponent right now.
I don't know. If I were playing, I'd be looking at those slugs.
Do you think one reason why these people, or these two participants right now are struggling is because it's 2x speed and they just have to be more precise?
I don't think so. At higher risks, you might argue that needing the DP back from cannon trick, or like a frame, like a few frames opening to get the skill activation off so it lands at the perfect time. That's something you see at like risk 28 and up. But for risk 18, none of that should be happening. If your strategy relies on that, oh man, I want the copium that you're smoking.
Oh, no. Tachyon again, failing the stage. We'll have to see if Blue can actually finish this one. I'm not sure if Tachyon will have another chance.
Well, Blue, stream quality has got, well, all the density of hieroglyphics, but it looks like that is... Wait, Gummy's down. Is this supposed to be happening?
I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Oh, here comes the call. Very nice shot with Myrtle, and here comes the DPS. Here comes the DPS. Irene with the elevation. Chen getting the S3 off, and that is clear.
Wait, no way. Oh my god, he did it! Out of nowhere! A repeat of the same strategy, he did it! And just like that, Blue takes the first round at the very end before sudden death.
That was very well played. Instead of risking instead of risking the cannon coming in too late, what Blue X did was put healers on Gummy to keep her alive, and then when the cannon call was guaranteed, retreated everyone to get that blank field, the cannon doesn't fire, put down Myrtle to call it in exactly when and where he wants it, and then finish it off with his 2 guard DPSs. Beautifully played.
Wow, very, very big surprise to me, at least. A big turn of events for that first round. I actually thought that they were going to go to sudden death. I don't know what actually was giving Tachyon the biggest struggle there. I think he went with some off-meta bans. Blue X definitely went and banned some of the most strong enemies, or strong operators out there. You have your Mudrock, Calcit, NTR, so, you know, the classic 3 operators that people enjoy using in the CC. I wonder what went wrong for Tachyon.
If I had to guess, probably controlling Manfred's phase 2 while also taking care of those wave 2 enemies, because once all of those start coming in at the same time, it gets really nasty in the middle of the map, and once you stop being able to control that, then things start spiraling, and, well, runs destabilize when wave 2 comes out. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see if he gets better on the second round. You know, I think he showed pretty well in the top 64 bracket, so maybe we'll see an improvement here. Right now, I want to point out that Rumby is actually in chat, and you know, I think people are already giving him birthday wishes, but big shout out to Rumby for putting together. You see the animated background right now. He helped with all the motion graphics as well as all the dust particles in the other scenes as well. So big shout out to Rumby. All right. Let's see. Are these guys ready for round 2? I think they are. Are you ready, Zai?
No.
Oh. Okay.
All right, here come the bands.
All right, welcome to round 2 of the second match between Blue and Tachyon. Blue taking the first one so far. We'll see if these bands do change up in round 2.
Wait, Tachyon goes to ban Ashe. Interesting. Did Ashe actually play that much of a role in Blue's strat?
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure, but I think, you know, Blue only had 3 6-stars in that case, one being Lumen. Probably pretty replaceable healer. Maybe I'm not sure, but I guess he's trying to pinpoint Blue's strategy at this point.
Well, Ashe can be deployed for that, that talent grenade stun, which can save a unit from being overwhelmed, but I'm not 100% sure if this is going to pan out as well as Tachyon is hoping against Blue.
Okay, it seems like Blue is actually going for his same bans again. The NTR and Caliset, and maybe final Mudrock ban again. We'll have to see if he chooses to do that. Tachyon decided to ban Thorns. Maybe he does see something in Blue. Maybe Blue does have a strategy that utilizes Thorns that we're not aware of.
And then the final ban being Lumen, which is very interesting. I wonder why Lumen. One would reason that there are other medics that could do Lumen's job, if not better. So, does Tachyon know something about Blue's roster that we're missing?
Yeah, maybe we don't. Who do you think is a better operator than Lumen, though?
I mean, almost any decent single target medic could do the job, given that Lumen is a therapist, and that was his S3, meaning his increased attack and attack speed wasn't in play. So basically anyone who's not a therapist and suffering from that attack efficiency down when outside a certain range could have done the job. I mean, assigning even a Gavial at that point, so who knows?
I guess we'll have to see how this turns out. Very, basically the same bans coming out from Blue side, but Tachyon switching it up, banning Lumen and Ashe, trying to pinpoint Blue's strategy that did win him the first round. Let us get started. All right, I'm excited to see how both of these contestants adapt. I think Tachyon's may try to do a similar strategy because the same bans are there. Maybe he just has to get the timing correct, but Blue has to change up his strategy now.
You know, they've been going through the risk selection so quickly that I haven't really had a good chance to, take a look beyond the first two, which are obviously Hate Drinker 3 and Slugs 3. But Tachyon is taking Defense up 1, which is a base defense increase of 200. And this might not seem so bad, but the way stat increases to contingency contract are calculated are that additives are calculated before multiplicatives, meaning that hypothetically, if you take 200 defense and then increase everyone's defense by 50%, that 200 is going to take effect before the 50% total increase. So I'm not 100% sure why Tachyon would go for such a risk unless Tachyon's intending on bringing a bunch of arts or true damage to the party.
Did anyone in chat understand that? I think I lost you at Tachyon.
Stat increases take effect before multipliers from personal buffs. Therefore, taking base stat increase bad. Do not do.
But they can use Surtur.
Okay, but Surtur's going to be dead for 70 seconds afterward. What are you going to do for those 70 seconds?
Well, you know what? I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'm talking about. But right now, it looks like Tachyon is using... He has the Surtur in the squad, and the Surtur will carry him.
Okay. Oh, Vifer, never change.
All right, so what do we see different about Blue?
Nothing yet. There's still Irene, a lane holder, double medics, using Telopsis instead of Lumen, which gives that added bonus of slightly faster SP gen. However, I'm not sure if Blue intends to use Telopsis as... Ooh!
Oh, no! What happened right there?
That! The cannon call came in on Telopsis, because Telopsis was the last one placed. That was just probably bad positioning and timing. Ooh. That was painful.
Well, it looks like Blue X is going to be put behind a little Tachyon right now, onto 25 enemies killed. His run looking pretty good so far, using that Far Tooth, wow, to burst down the Manfred. Did you expect that strategy?
That's actually a strategy that I've been looking forward to seeing. If anyone will use Fartooth to her fullest efficiency. No, you haven't seen Fartooth at her fullest efficiency yet, Vifer. But that is a very good way to easily phase Manfred into his second phase without putting anyone in danger. So, very solid play there.
I guess we'll have to see how they do here. Right now, it seems like Tachyon has this in the bag. He's feeling good about this. He's using Amiya now.
Yet. Oh, Amiya with the true damage. All right, that's Manfred phase 2 down. Very interesting decision with the true damage there. I'm surprised this strat didn't come out earlier. Amiya wasn't banned, right?
Amiya was not banned, but I think like Blue X probably should have targeted the operators that he did end up banning, NTR and the Kalsa, if he's just trying to ban out the most cookie cutter true damage builds.
Yes, I agree. Amiya S3 has its own problems with regards to targeting priority, although Tachyon seems to have taken care of that issue by thinning out the possible targets. The other thing about Amiya that's kind of technically a debuff is, I don't know if you've noticed this, Vifer, but if you have Amiya in your squad, she'll reset your CC squad, meaning you have to reselect everyone all over again.
Wait, really? Is that a bug that just exists?
That happens. That is a thing.
Oh no, I mean, I guess that is like a few seconds slowdown, but not sure if that's gonna come into play here. We have yet to see a run start to finish, just super easy, first person to finish done. It seems like they're struggling a little.
Tachyon's in a little bit of trouble here. We've got 4 gifts converging in on that box. Not a lot of units who can stand up to gifts for a long period of time. Gavial, even Gavialter on S2 with that attack and defense increase is having some trouble. The cannon call is nowhere near ready. Tachyon's moving into a Surtur now, trying to stop the bleeding. Surtur's just been procced. Is he going to get this? It looks good. But will Surtur get the hits in?
Oh my god!
Oh! Really?
That was looking really bad for a second. He did not have the cannon at play, but I think he's got it.
Surtur didn't actually proc. Her HP looked dangerously low, but she actually made it out, and that was all the difference. It looks like this one's going to be going to Tachyon.
Wow. And just like that, congratulations, Tachyon, for winning the second round. We have a tie now. And we're on to the final round.
Wow, I guess just Surturing it does work.
That was very surprising. It was looking very grim. I thought the reset was going to happen, but he clutched it, man. He clutched it.
This is going to be an exciting third match. I look forward to seeing the bans for this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they do. I think, man, the thing is that both of these participants so far, they did need to reset their run. So I wonder if like they're testing new runs or if these are like back pocket things that they just haven't polished over time. But if they are adapting to each other's bans and maybe adapting to the squads at hand, it can really be either's game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the way this seems to be playing, it feels like 90% of the puzzle pieces are in place, but then the removal of 1 or 2 units disrupts that entire thing, especially given that in this style of CC map, the consistent flow throughout the entire match is very important in terms of who you commit to block slugs, who's going to be coming back at certain times, and of course who you use to call cannon, because they're essentially going to be out of the game for 60 seconds. So you might as well just bring one dedicated unit or even make a Vanguard do double duty to call cannon. So I think the removal of even that small puzzle piece is really what's messing with these players.
Yeah, one common theme that I feel like I am identifying at this point is that a lot of these players are struggling to get the timing on the nuke, one of the final nukes down. And, you know, I'm not sure if that timing is dependent on different timings throughout the entire match, if maybe it's dependent on a specific operator or like the RNG or stats that they're trying to stack up. There can be a lot of stuff in play, but that final nuke seemed to be the winning touch for both players in their separate clears.
Yeah, And again, like I mentioned, it's overall flow, and the reason I say this is because it all comes back to when and how they handle Manfred's Phase 2. Manfred's Phase 2 is the single greatest source of SP for that cannon that you'll be getting, unless you take the extra enemies risk, which why would you do that if this is a speed kill thing? So, and also giving them invisibility, so that's just completely off the table. So how you manage that second phase Manfred and his SP giving to the cannon is pretty much going to set the tone for how you proceed with Wave 2 if you rely on Cannon Call at all.
Well, let's see how they do. Maybe we're gonna find a one-tap clear this time instead of a little scuffing. So let's head into our final match, or our final round for this match between Blue and Tachyon. We're gonna be starting with the banning phase once again.
Alright, we've got Tachyon going. Huh?
What?
Things just got spicy.
Wait,
I can't
that
believe
is surprising.
Tachyon banned the strongest guard. Oh man, what are we gonna do now?
Wow, very interesting decision from both players. Tachyon deciding to ban the Kalsa this time, which Blue X actually have been banning. And then Blue X deciding to ban Ash, which he actually used in the first round. Why would he do that?
Hey, Tachyon used Ash?
Oh, actually,
Wait.
Oh, wait, actually, I think we have it mixed up a little.
Vifer?
Oh wait, actually no, we're scuffing. Oh wait, guys, look away, guys, look. Guys,
Sup?
yeah. So the stream just lagged a little, guys. There's nothing wrong with the stream. Surely, so we're all good now.
Yeah, Vifer took a left instead of a right and ended up at the tic-tac-toe game instead of the tournament, so bear with us for a moment.
Yeah. Anyways, we got the correct bans this time. Wow. You know, why would Blue ban Ash? You know, of course, guys. If you know these players, you would have known there would have been an issue from the start. So, and why did you believe me? Yes.
Vifer, is the animatic updated?
What?
Where's Castle 3?
Castle 3? Huh?
Castle 3.
What? Anyways, guys, we have our bans on the screen. What do you think about this this wave of bans, Zai?
I think Tachyon is playing a dangerous game by banning Castle 3, but oh man, taking out the strongest guard, the best buffing guard in the entire game, I don't know how Blue is going to cope with
Why would he do
it.
that?
To flex!
What? And why would Blue ban Fartooth? Oh, wait, no. Fartooth did play a pretty big role in defeating Manfred in Tachyon's strat, so maybe that's what he's trying to target.
Yeah, and even if you use Fartooth only for phase 1, if you play Manfred's second phase correctly, she can also take out phase 2 after coming back from her redeploy timer. So Fartooth being a single unit who can handle Manfred is pretty worth getting off the field if that was like a major component of the clear, which it was.
I guess we'll have to see. Both players starting very, very soon. This is the final round of this best of 3 between Blue X and Tachyon. It has begun.
Alright, looks like they're taking the same risks again. Tachyon going for Slugs 2 instead of Slugs 3, which is very interesting. Also giving that defense increase, so... Oh, okay, Tachyon heard me talking shit.
Oh, no, no. We spoke too early.
Hey, Vifer, is that risk 19 or 18? I'm not 100% sure.
Oh.
On Tachyon's screen. I don't know. That'll be funny.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Oh well, it's okay. We'll figure it out
we'll see.
later.
You know, we'll just disqualify him after the fact. You know, like.
Huh?
Yeah. What?
Huh? Wait. If you did risk 19, you're disqualified.
No.
Anyways,
yeah.
We'll just figure it out when Tachyon goes back to the main screen, win or lose.
All right, let's see. Blue X having, again, a very early start. It seems like he's very, very quick with selecting his risks and his squads. Tachyon going a little slower, giving us some more thought, but that did end up winning him the match in the previous round.
Yeah, it looks like they're both playing approximately the same openings. You know, Vanguard, 2 lane holders to take care of slugs, cannon call. I wonder if Blue X is going to leak this caster again. Looks like it.
That's such
Yep,
an
there it
interesting
goes.
strategy. Did you see other people do that before?
As I mentioned during the first match, I've done it myself, but it's pretty uncommon. I mean, like I said, it's not that hard to take that caster out, especially at risk 18 with any competent anti-air sniper. So I wonder if Blue X is doing it just to, like, you know, save on some resources and devote them all to the Manfred fight. Speaking of which, there's that Manfred setup, got the 2 medics in. Lumen facing up instead of left this time. I wonder why. Maybe trying to prevent Whisperain from soaking up some attention. Who knows?
Wow, that is very interesting. Manfred is getting stalled right now. Irene dealing with the mobs on the very left side. Very, very good for the wave clear with her skill 3. Tachyon on the right side. Honestly, approaching at a pretty good speed right now. He has a setup on both of the vents. La Pluma guarding the middle vent.
Very nice cannon call from Blue. That could have gone pretty badly if Manfred got 1 or 2 more attacks in. All right, here come the hate drinkers walking into Irene. There's the levitate, very nice, and there's that second caster off on the road. And this is where having 2 medics with attack speed and attack increases comes in handy, keeping Irene alive. And
Oh
very
my God.
interesting. Blue X deciding to sacrifice everyone just to get all those slugs off the field and going into a Chen S3 buff on against Manfred. A perfect. Wait, that was phase 1.
Yeah, but that was crazy. He had the timings, he had the damage. He's done with phase 1.
All right, throwing conviction down to charge that cannon, and it looks like I get the feeling that what Blue X is going to do is make everything. Oh, this will be interesting.
Ooh.
That's
quick
call
note
right
on
there.
the other end.
Very well done.
We have a very different pace of the stage going on the right side. Tachyon did do a lot of damage to Manfred early on. He is a little behind, I believe, but Manfred is almost dead. So, you know, while we have Blue X, he took his time to get Manfred in the correct position. Nuke him. Tachyon did decide to sorter him from the very beginning.
Tachyon about to get a cannon call in right now, taking care of the left side. Okay, Tachyon's Manfred is dead, but if Blue X can pull off this cannon call correctly, that should be a sweet victory right there. Irene is up. Here it comes.
No way.
Perfectly called. Here come the 2 guards to finish things off. Irene should be elevating any moment now.
No way.
And as soon as that drone dies, it's match.
Wow.
Very well played.
What a close match. That was very, very close. If honestly Tachyon had started at the same time as Blue, it would have been even closer with Blue X showing up in round 3 of this best of 3, winning it 2-1.
That was smooth as shit.
That was crazy. I'm actually very impressed. When you mentioned that he decided to nuke his entire right side, I got very nervous. That did not look good.
Not a play I would have done myself, but I mean, the slugs were all there, Manfred was there, and Worf and Chen were ready to take him out, so as far as plays go, it was a valid one.
Wow. There we go.
Can we just pause and appreciate that Blue X is doing all of this with his 4 fingers?
Yeah, dude, honestly, big Giga Chad move. I'm incredibly impressed. Someone that does not have access to a PC emulator or even a better device is doing this with a phone that is getting fried right now with like a shitty frame rate. I wonder, like, you know, how hot his phone would be, because if you're using an older model, like, Arknights does heat your phone up quite a lot, and he's screen sharing and he's using Discord. That's crazy.
Clearly, at this point, Blue X is just playing in an igloo.
He says he's fucking cooking.
With his phone?
Yeah, he's cooking hard right now. But he did cook. Yes, let him cook. That was very good. I'm incredibly impressed. Who do we have next? I think that was the second match in this top 8 bracket. So it is going a little slower, but these matches have been pretty cool so far. Let me sync up with Darian. I think next we have Arcanine versus Meltup, I believe. Arcanine versus Meltup.
Now, this is a match I'm very interested in. These are two names that I vaguely know, but I don't know anything about their playstyles.
Yeah, so I've never heard of Arcanine before, but Meltup has actually played in one of my previous defeat the VIPs, and
Oh,
he won
yeah.
it. So that's where I
Yeah,
know
that's where
Meltup,
I know
but
him
before
from.
that I don't really know him either.
And I've seen
Uh
Arcanine around, so
okay. I mean, yeah, maybe I what I wonder is that so I think with my previous tournaments, it's been more of kind of like a random gamble of players. You know, you just select random people from the audience. You don't really know if they're good or bad, but the players that have made it through to this point in this tournament did have to beat quite a lot of contestants. So, in a way, I would say they're pretty skilled. Like, I wonder how exactly do you go about getting good at this kind of formats? Do you think it's mostly do you think these participants are just naturally better in adapting to the strategy at hand and they just don't really practice? Or do you think like these are the kind of people that actually stood up all night and thought about strategies that would end up working?
I think it's got to be a little bit of both, honestly. When you're performing for speed, obviously there's the added pressure of needing to perform for time as well as actually getting the clear. So having practice is always going to help you there. But at the same time, if things do go wrong, you also have to know whether you want to abandon the run and start over, or if you think that you can tough it out and get the clear in spite of your mess up. So you need that sort of situational awareness. Which can't, I think, be achieved purely via practice. So for me, I would say that it's probably a mix of long time experience in the game and knowing your units in the game state as much as it is about practicing for the event.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. I definitely do talk about okay, there's bans, you can like, you know, research your opponent's bans, etc. But I think at this point in time, a lot of these players probably have been playing Arcanites for quite a while now. They probably have accounts that have played through most of the events. They've access to a lot of M3s. So even though it may look like someone is getting beat up and stuff, a lot of the times it really just comes down to what strategy they deploy in the moment, if they have that adaptability. And it doesn't really matter, I guess, like what people ban, because if they have thought about it and they have the operators available, it seems like this CC does lend to a lot of different strategies and a lot of different clears, more than I expected.
Does. It helps that they made Manfred a little squishier than his chapter 10 counterpart. In terms of bosses we've gone up against, I think Manfred is actually the squishiest one, even at like full power. But that's also probably because he's such a big threat. He's got the cannon, he's got a double tap in his second phase, and he's got that bullshit dodge cloak, so I can see why things balanced out and made him a little squishier.
Yeah, I think that that'll be very interesting. I'm kind of curious. I felt like when I was watching Blue, he was deploying strategies that I haven't seen before, timings that I haven't seen used, and it seemed like he stuck with that. And he had different options, different operators that he used to replace, even though like some of his operators like Ash and Lumen were getting banned. So it seemed like that was like his general strategy, and he was sticking with it all the way through. I don't know how quick that is compared to a lot of other people's strategies, but it seems like that's kind of what made him win. He just very much relied on one strategy and perfected it with different adaptations.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. Like, who would you have banned in Blue X's strategy to like make it fall apart? You could ban Irene, but then there's Chen and possibly Surtur or Silver Ash that could be brought in if Blue does have those units. You could ban a medic, but there's other medics who could do the job. You could ban Conviction, but there's other units with 4,000 HP that could also do the job. Maybe more expensive, but it's not like you're taking DP down 3. So if you make a strat that's just any unit is replaceable by another unit, how do you really shut that down?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think you have to very much look to ban maybe one of his vanguards, one of his opening units. But I felt like he had so much flexibility in his strategy, despite it being just very linear. Unfortunately, I've scammed myself, and the bans are actually already done. I'm
God
late.
damn, Viper.
I'm late. So let's just talk about them real quick. Let's talk about them. I was unaware, guys. I was not aware of this. But look at this. Wow, that is a very stacked screen we're looking at right now.
Interesting. A lot of DPS shut down. Surtur's out. There goes her immortality. Irene Silver Ash out. So no easy answers for Slugs and Hate Drinkers. Radiant, of course, out. So no easy answer for Manfred. I'm surprised to see Mudrock. But I'm not at all surprised to see Nightingale. I am a little surprised though, but only a little, because seeing Nightingale on the ban list implies that Meltup is using Nightingale's stall strats to perhaps advance the cannon or control Manfred's progress. So it'll be interesting to see if this ban plays out as well as Arcanine is hoping it will.
What do you think about the Silver Ash ban? You were talking about that earlier, and it's finally here.
I think it makes a lot of sense, especially given that Hate Drinkers and their Slugs are one of the threats you want to get off the field before you push Manfred into Phase 2, just because of the amount of damage that's going to be flying around. I think it'll be interesting to see how they play around it, but I don't know if it'll have as big of an effect as I'm anticipating.
I guess we'll have to see how they do. I believe their match is starting very soon, so let's see. Round 1 of this match 3 between Arcanine versus Meltup. This still is a top 8 bracket match, so let's see how they do. First person to 2 wins moves on in the bracket.
Oh. Someone in the chat mentioned that all of Arcanine's bans are Sarkaz. Is Arcanine secretly Tautafons?
Oh, what? Or maybe does he know that Meltup uses all those Sarkaz, or maybe he plays Sarkaz Knights? I don't know. I don't get the joke though. What do you mean?
Because Tautafons does extra damage against Sarkaz.
Oh, I knew that.
Vifer.
I knew that. You know, like I definitely use Tautafons. Like, dude, I bet half of chat didn't know that. So you know, why are they cuck Wing at me, dude? Like, no one knew that.
Vifer.
What do you mean, dude? Half of chat doesn't know that. Okay, let's be real. Y'all don't actually know that, right? Right?
Vifer.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm acting. I'm just pretending like I didn't know, just to make people you know, Keck W. Okay, so I actually did know. I was just acting.
Another day at the Keck W farm. It looks like Meltup is entering the map. Arcanine coming in very quickly. Arcanine with a 7-op roster. A very interesting choice that not many people seem to be taking, given that it's easier to limit your deploy slots rather than your unit choice. So it'll be very interesting to see how Arcanine decides to play this. They do have an ideal roster. 2 lane holders, Spectre with her immortality, Horn with pseudo-immortality and high DPS, and of course Fartooth. But there's no medics, and the options for cannon calling are going to be pretty thin on the ground, so who knows how Arcanine is going to play around this.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious why he went with that, because I feel like a lot of our previous contestants, what they focused on is having more units available to proc the nukes, to have placement options. But he's taken that out, and he's going for a different kind of clear. I'm very curious to see what he's going to do.
Indeed, and it looks like they're both around the same place. Technically, Meltup is a little ahead, if I'm not mistaken, given that the... Wait.
Yeah, he is ahead.
Where are
unit
the
count.
Hate Drinkers? Wait, did Horn kill the Hate Drinkers? Did I miss something?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, there they are.
Oh, they're still a little late.
Huh?
They're right there, right? The ones sucking the air, like the blood going to the top, and like they're sucking blood, or they're reverse sucking blood.
Wait, man, I'm confused as to how Arcanine is so late on them coming out. But oh man,
maybe it's the fact that I actually am not aware how the increased number of enemies affects the stage timing.
They mostly come at the end. There's 4 extra gifts in the beginning, which you can just cannon out. And then, depending on risk 1 or 2, there's either 2 or 4 artificers, which are, you know, the guys who charge the cannon. But if you take risk 2, there's an extra swordsman who comes from the top left. Yeah, so you know that left lane that hasn't been a threat until now? It's now your #1 problem in the end game.
Oh,
have fun with
wait,
that.
what's a hate
That's why
drinker?
no one takes that.
Well, I thought the artificers were suckies. Like I thought those were drinkers. You know, like they drink blood.
No, the hate drinker is the guy with the glowing lightsaber.
What?
You know, the
why
guys
did
on
they
the
give him a
left
better
side.
name? God damn.
What?
Anyways, it looks like Horn is MVP here. How is Horn dealing that much damage? How?
She's a guard who misfiled her paperwork, Vifer, don't you know?
Oh my god. Well, guess what? Is that Manfred phase 2 already on Arcanine's screen? He's going through the stage very, very quickly right now.
They are both on... Wait. No, that's a phase 1 on Arcanine's screen. I'm not 100% sure about Meltup, but Meltup is looking like they're in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah.
They've got phase 2 out. Manfred was stunned, but they've still got 2 hate drinkers and a slug on the field. And those hate drinkers are about to clap Amiya into the next dimension. This is not going well for Meltup.
Yeah, that does not look good. Maybe he rushed the stage too quickly. That might be a big issue.
Well, hold on a second. Arcanine in great position with leaking the hate drinkers, about to call cannon on Manfred and the wave 2 slugs. But hold on a second. If you look at the top of the screens, you'll notice that Meltup has 58, but Arcanine has 64, meaning Arcanine took extra enemies as a risk and is just absolutely certain that he's going to take care of business faster than Meltup could possibly take out 58.
That is very shocking, given that he's still in the game right now. He has the thing charging up. He's killed Manfred. It's looking really good for him right now.
Well, it's going to come down to whether Arcanine can get this cannon call in on the left side to take care of those 6 slugs. The drones obviously are going to kill themselves. It looks like he's on good course using Texas to call in that cannon. And then it's just probably using Horn to kill the Artificer, yeah.
That was just perfect. I felt like the utilization of the entire stage, the timings he had that down. This is looking like a pretty good win.
That is clean.
I just can't stop laughing. Dude, people in chat are pointing out Meltup's mouse.
Wait, what's the mouse?
I just feel bad. I don't know if it's just the jittery mouse, but he's shaking, man. He's
got the mouse jitters.
I don't know.
And that's game. 1 point to Arcanine.
Wow. And just like that, Arcanine, congratulations. You've won the first round of this match. That was very decisive. I feel like he came with a strategy that we haven't seen so far. 7 operators and more enemies. That was crazy.
I wonder now if Meltup's bans take out three of those units from Arcanine 7. Is Arcanine going to go with perhaps a deploy 5 squad 13 and change things up entirely? Or is this deploy squad 7 the only thing Arcanine knows how to employ? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, I guess we will find out. Arcanine, a little humble earlier, said he was super nervous coming in, didn't expect it to reach top 8, but I think he is the first one in this batch to start the round with an instant clear, you know? Maybe it wasn't a speed run, but yeah, very good.
And on top of that, with the extra enemy risk, and not bringing a Silver Ash to reveal kill. Like, come on!
It's crazy. I think he did a really good job right there. We'll have to see if he comes up with a better strategy, because the less units he has, that means the more units that Meltup can counterban in this matchup.
Alternatively,
we'll see.
If you want to give credit, possibly, maybe Arcanine ran a 7-op specifically so Meltup would be forced to ban out of those 7-ops and is holding a second strat in reserve. Who knows?
Who knows? That would be pretty Giga Chat. That'd be pretty 5-head right there if that is the case.
That'd be Galaxy Brain.
Yeah.
Arcanine! Banning Blue Woman.
Oh yeah, the bans. I forgot, guys. The bans are up. All right. Arcanine starting out with that Blue Woman ban. Very interesting. Actually, is this the first time Blue Woman was banned?
I think so.
Huh.
But to be fair, Blue Woman clears are pretty stall clears, so I can see why people aren't really going after Blue Woman. I mean, what are you gonna do? Dragging him to death?
True. That is what my chat was telling me yesterday, that people actually will probably not ban Blue Woman despite her being in a lot of good clears, a lot of successful clears on YouTube.
You know, 7-minute clears.
7? I felt like, wait, how long was Arcanine's clear right there? That felt like it wasn't too short. Or maybe he was one-time speeding. Not sure.
6 minutes, according to Darian.
What exactly makes like a 4-minute run, would you say? Like, what do you think is like the key thing you have to do?
Having Neural the Radiant Knight.
Oh, really? Is that actually the
Yes.
piece?
I mean, if you can just get Manfred off the field early, then your other 6 to 12 units can be used to do whatever you want with the extra mobs. So, like, pretty much,
Wow. Well, I guess we do see an NTR ban to finish off the bans right now. Meltup banning Mountain. We have all 6 bans good and set. I think Yato and Texas, very interesting bans right there. I wonder if they're specifically targeting specific strategies that we're not aware of. But these are the 6 bans.
Is there a Mountain and Arcanine squad last time? I don't recall there being.
I don't recall either, but maybe he knows something we don't.
Maybe he saw a Mountain during selection. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he did.
But there goes the Vanguard and the Immortal selection from Arcanine's set, so who knows? It looks like Arcanine is not taking extra enemies this time. It looks like Arcanine might have had a second idea after all, but still sticking with squad size 7, so very interesting.
Yeah, I think he probably is more used to using fewer squads. I wonder if it's because he knows the timings of the map very well, so as long as he has replaceable operators for his previous clear, that he can just replicate it.
Wait, no, I take that back. That is extra enemy. He's still taking extra enemy.
He's still
This
doing
is
it?
amazing.
He's going with the same squad?
He's going in with only 6?
Wait, what? Did he misclick?
Arcanine is going in with only 6.
No way, that's impossible! And with a Kiawe as well! I've never seen Kiawe
And
used!
No way, no way. Is this man just going to, like, whip out a massive EP and flex on the chat?
No way,
What is happening?
Meltup literally using double the operators!
What am I witnessing? Surely this is elaborate Giga Chat infinity brain trolling.
My question is, why would he take a Kiawe? I feel like there are better options than Kiawe, right?
Maybe he didn't build a Elysium. Or well, hold on a second. Actually, there might be a reasonable explanation for this. Kiawe is 2-block.
Oh, isn't Elysium 2-block?
Vifer, I am going to turn you
Wait,
into
seriously?
Vifer, he's a flag bearer.
Well, I mean, Can we
Hey,
move on?
Vifer,
Can
go
we move on from this?
Go stand over there in that giant cannon indicator. Yeah, over there. Hey, Manfred, right there. Smiley face.
Anyways, Arcanine is doing well.
Arcanine is doing well, but in terms of pure time, Meltup is still ahead. We've got that PC difference coming through, but Meltup was ahead last time and mishandled that Manfred phase. So who knows? Maybe we'll see another excellent comeback from Arcanine.
That is very true. I think right now both players get into the middle of this stage. Manfred will be the main threat here. Right now we have Arcanine dealing with Manfred, one-shotting with basically the Far-Tooth. The Far-Tooth strategy coming out once again. A very, very popular operator I see to just laser down that row.
Indeed, but as I mentioned earlier, Manfred does have a nasty habit of trying to get out of range. So you really do need to be like, you need to not buff Manfred for this to work. This is Risk 18, so it's fine, but who knows?
So what exactly is the advantage to, or is there any disadvantage to killing Manfred so early and now that he's in phase 2? What do you have to be, what do you have to be aware of?
Only if you don't have Neural Radiant. I'll tell you how to get a. I'll tell you how to get a 4-minute in-game time on the last match, because that is something that I've actually been wanting to see if anyone figured out for themselves, but it's too impractical and no one has Neural Radiant. All right, we've got some excellent cannon calls coming in on both players. Yes. Meltup with a very smooth cannon call taking out the slugs and debuffing Manfred. It looks like Arcanine is still holding his cannon call. Probably to... Who is he going to use, though, to damage?
I'm not too sure. At this point in time, it's very hard to tell who's ahead. Is it Meltup that's slightly ahead right now?
It feels like it might be... Wait. No, Meltup is ahead on time. Meltup is ahead on time, and Manfred is dead. It might be Meltup this time.
Yeah, this is looking very good. The cannon is charging up. He's stalling. There's only one enemy left. It's the drone.
And once that drone kills itself, that's game.
Oh my god, and just like that, Meltup.
Clean.
That was very good. Both players did not have to restart that time. They had the strategy. It seemed like Arcanine was actually like maybe 10 or 15 seconds behind. Wow.
Well, Arcanine did get into the map later, but I also wonder if maybe there was possibly some hesitation on having to use a Kiave instead of a Texas. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but in the beginning, when Arcanine was trying to get that La Pluma down, he did spend like 5 to 10 seconds just waiting for Kiave's skill to hit full SP to pop it to get that La Pluma down. So maybe those extra seconds of waiting did add up overall.
Yeah, honestly, very surprising to see that happen. Oops, wrong scene. There. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Sir? Sir?
Wow, round 2 of this match. Why are you making this awkward? Why? Hey.
Oh no, I'm listening to the music, man. I'm listening to the music. This lobby theme is a jam.
Guys, it's not scuffed, but wow, okay. I think let's just head right into the bands, guys. I don't know what to say anymore. We'll have to see how they do. I was just about to ask you who are you betting on, but why do I ask that question? I don't know, guys. I need to improve as a shoutcaster. The Zai's doing an amazing job right now. Can we please get a clap for Zai so far for having such analytical commentary, please, and my amazing commentary as well.
Yeah. Hey guys, can we get a large clap for Vifer's amazing hairline, please?
Anyways, on to the bands again. All right. Wow. Okay. Look at these bands coming out. We have NTR, the first operator banned once again from Arcanine.
Alright, and Meltup's going after the old standbys on Arcanine's roster. There goes Spectre and there go Mountain. There are the two lane holders. And targeting La Pluma this time, going for the triple lane holder ban. So now Arcanine gets to have the Texas and the very smooth opening and the Fartooth for the DPS, but there goes the lane holders with regen and immortality. So does Arcanine have an answer to this? Who knows?
Who knows? We do see the Ling ban coming in once again. Arcanine just does not like the opponents using Ling or himself. These bans does leave one important operator open. We have Calcid open for the players to use now. I wonder if either of them are going to take that.
I can see a Calcid helping Arcanine if he decides to go for that. For Meltup's strat seems to be pretty under control, and I would like to mention that in both of these matches, Meltup has had a significant time advantage with the way the opening is played and also the PC advantage. So I'm not 100% sure if leaving Cal to be taken will be as advantageous for Meltup as it will be for Arcanine, if Arcanine does go for it.
All right. It looks like the match has started. Both players going very quickly, choosing their
Arcanine,
squads.
Again, with the extra enemies. Again with the extra enemies.
Okay. I'm actually very and hopefully this is not exposing too much, but I'm very curious why Meltup chose not to ban Arcanine's what's it called? Horn. Yes, Horn. I feel like she has been such a great operator in Arcanine's setup right now.
Well, you have to consider the role that Horn is playing in the clear, and that is, what have we seen Arcanine doing with Horn? Clearing out the left side and then doing some trash duty on the right side after the wave transition. But couldn't an Arketo do that? Clearing out the left side? Couldn't perhaps a Gavi Alter, if there wasn't already one in the squad, or even a Mudrock to cannon call and do the same amount of clearing? So Horn isn't really doing anything that another operator couldn't do, possibly for better or cheaper.
That is actually a very good point. So maybe, and I think one good thing that Horn can also act on, since she has 3 block, is a way to just bait the cannons. So that does provide an option if he has other operators on the stage. So Very, very good thought process right there. I'm actually very curious if he can pull this clear off and maybe have his strategy go a little faster. I believe Arcanine... Did Arcanine enter the stage a little early? I didn't catch that, unfortunately.
Let's see. I think we can judge who's ahead by when the hate drinkers come out, but it does look, again, like Meltup is still maintaining that time advantage. It appears to us that Arcanine is ahead based on the enemy count, but that's because Horn is over on the left side clearing everyone. In terms of time and map time, Meltup is still ahead.
That does make sense. It seems like a very similar situation from the last round. We'll have to see. What I am realizing at this point in time is that actually neither players have taken Calcit, which is what I thought would be the open operator to take.
Indeed, but it seems like perhaps in anticipation of true damage bans, they've formulated their strategies around not relying on those units, so it would be more disadvantageous to them to try and shoehorn true damage into the strat rather than running a practice strategy that they already know.
That does make sense. I guess we'll have to see how they do right now. I feel like both players are actually just playing what they've prepared. There's no counter banning that I believe has happened, so both players are very much relying on their strategy being faster than the other player.
Yeah, you could argue that Arcanine's had some pretty decisive blows struck against them by taking out the major lane holders. But if you look at how they're playing right now, like there's Gavialter and Blaze who are doing essentially the same job as Mountain Lapluma Spectre, just Blaze is relying on her pseudo-immortality regen, or her one-time regen, to do the same job, and as we saw, it worked perfectly fine. So, how is this going to shake out?
Yeah, it looks like right now they're both at around 45, 46 enemies. Arcanine does have to deal with more enemies here, so it does seem like Meltup is ahead just slightly, and he's dealing with Manfred very, very quickly at this point.
Now, there are two things we need to consider here. The first is that it appears that Meltup is going to be able to kill those Hate Drinker slugs and Call Cannon, which is very vital in perhaps if he does lose control in the later half of the map, he'll have 2 HP seals to work with, whereas Arcanine has none. Everything from now on must be perfect. The second thing to consider is that I have absolutely no idea what I was saying because I forgot.
What do you mean? And it's okay. I do that a lot too. I go like, okay, 2 things, and then I go, wait, what was the second thing again? But no, I feel you. You know, we're talking a lot, so it's supposed to happen. Right now, it looks like they're actually pretty close, about 10 enemies off from the end from both of them.
I remember. The second thing is that Arcanine took the extra enemies, so even if they get their Manfred kills off at the same time, Arcanine's at a time disadvantage because of those invisible guys that spawn slugs. And here we might be seeing that extra enemy. Right. The extra enemies might be about to end Arcanine's dominance here. It's gonna come down to who gets these slugs killed first, and it honestly looks like Meltup has the advantage. Is he gonna leak that one? Wait.
No.
No. No way.
Arcanine, no.
DP gated. No way.
No.
But even, let's be real, even if Arcanine had gotten both of those artificers blocked, the slug kill would probably have taken longer than Arcanine or than Meltup's. So the victory does go to Meltup.
Wow, that was actually a crazy watch. It came really down to the wire. Meltup, congratulations! You have won this round, and you are going to be proceeding to the top 4. Congratulations, man! 2-1 against Arcanine. Arcanine, great match, great effort there. It was amazing to see a completely different strategy with only 7 operators and a different set of timings. So that was awesome to see. Congratulations to really both of y'all for showing out this time. All right. Well, I think that's about that for that round. That took a little longer than I expected, but that was pretty close, honestly.
Based on these matches, we're going to have some great semifinals.
Yeah, like so this set of players in particular, I think they did a great job with choosing a strategy despite the viable bans that they had to face, and just going ahead with something that was very strong and very very stable, I'd say. They had the strategies down to the wire, both of them.
Indeed, and like they had contingency plans for almost every single part of those like all the moving parts of that strategy. They had contingency units in case parts of them got banned. So that was very well thought out and executed. Uh, Not sure why Arcanine didn't go for a seventh operator. Maybe
That
they
is
thought it would have been
true.
distracting, but I mean, if it had even been like a simple vanguard, like a bagpipe that was in there, that could have made all the difference.
I wonder if he had like jittery fingers and he just accidentally pressed on start without realizing that. And then he realized maybe like, okay, it's possible without it. So he was just gonna keep going to save the time because you saw how close they got. It seemed like even if they had the second operator, who knows if that would have saved him or even made him faster than Melt Up.
It would have depended on who that operator was, given that, again, those artificers, you have to go through the first life and the slug, but who knows? If it had been a multi-hitting operator, maybe that could have made all the difference.
Maybe, yeah. Wow, I think that was like our closest match. I guess Blue's match was pretty close as well, but this match was very close, and I felt like it was very enjoyable to watch, given how precise both of these players were. So that
Yeah,
was good.
didn't both of these recent matches go 2-1 in the
Yeah,
end?
yeah, it's been pretty close. I'm actually surprised. I actually expected most of top 8 to be 2-0s because usually if one player has the faster clear, it's kind of hard to adapt in this case, but that's kind of surprising, like you mentioned.
Yeah, no pressure, Tortoise and Custard, no pressure at all.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder what Meltup was thinking going into that match because he did lose the first round, so he was down 0-1. And he had to win 2, and he still ended up doing it. So he was able to adapt a lot faster.
If I had to guess what Meltup was thinking, it would probably be
Yeah, probably. At the end of the day, it's like you have to think this is probably their first time competing at this level and going through an entire bracket like this. If I was doing it, dude, I get so nervous. I talked about in the past, I've competed in stuff like Smash tournaments, and I get such jittery fingers. Like I can't stop moving. And you know, Smash is a very precise game where you need your hand to stay like very steady and stuff. And usually as you progress that far into the bracket, it just gets so nerve-wracking in the best of threes. So
completely
yeah.
unrelated. But this is why I will never have keybinds for retreat operator or activate skill. Like, what if I panic and I hit retreat operator instead of unpause? I'd never live it
Oh
down.
yeah, that's for sure. I would be really bad with that. I gotta keep it very simple. Only have one button for pause. I actually don't even know people did that before.
I've seen it. I've seen people do it, and I've also seen it bite people in the ass. So
I'm sure.
that's why I don't do it.
All right, let me get the next set of contestants set up right here. I
While you
believe
do that, I'm gonna grab more tea. You guys have me drinking through it.
Yeah, take your time, take your time. All right, chat. We actually have a very very interesting matchup right now. We're gonna have Tortoise-chan versus Custard. That will be our last top 8 match until we go to semifinals. Custard, I actually haven't heard of Custard before, but Tortoise-chan has been with us since our last match. We had a mock battle yesterday, actually, and Tortoise-chan showed up. They did a great job, but they were actually struggling to get a clear down. So I remember after that match, Tortoise-chan was like, okay, I'm going to practice a lot more. This mock battle made me realize that I am not polished, and it's time. And this person, they grinded all night. Asked them earlier, they said they've been grinding 8 to 12 hours for this tournament, and look who's here in the top 8. So Tortoise-chan versus Custard. Custard, a name that I haven't seen before, but I'm sure he is not going to be an easy opponent. He made his route through the top 64 as well, so we'll see how both of these guys do. I am very excited for this match.
We got the bands coming in.
Oh god, wait, I'm scuffing. Yeah, give me a second. Oh god. Oh. I'm like talking and yeah, I'm like talking and fucking fucking around in the okay. Dude, I'm multitasking, all right? Stop.
Any clippers?
Okay, I'm anyways, let's just get all right, let's go. It's time to ban.
All right. right. Oh, Custard is going for the jugular. For those of you who don't know, Tortoise mentioned earlier in the chat that they practice almost exclusively with 5-star operators. So Custard going for the scene and a caster Amia. Meanwhile, Tortoise going for the true damage options to try and cut off Custard. The final ban from Custard, a Kirara. I haven't used her myself, so I'm not sure what she does or doesn't do for this match, and now we're just waiting on Tortoise.
Yeah, I'm very curious what the intentions are behind these bans. I think at this point in time, the players know that it's important to ban the operators that the other person uses, because if you simply rely on pushing your strategy, there's only so much. You don't even know if someone else could be faster than you if they just push their niche. So it may be important to try to disturb the other person's squad. So look, what do we have here? We have very unique bans. Like, who bans Weedy? Is Weedy good? Karara, Amia caster, as well as a scene. Very interesting operators at hand.
The Weedy ban does actually make sense, because on skill 3, Weedy does true damage proportional to the distance traveled, and those slugs book it pretty quickly, and only have 3 to 4,000 HP depending on risks. So a hit with Weedy would do very well in eliminating them, but then you have to think that you are supposed to be using the cannon, so would anyone actually be using Weedy for slugging duty at this point?
I guess we'll have to see. I'm very excited for this new match. 0-0, first person to 2 wins. Let's see how both of these guys do.
Now, I'm curious, does anyone in the chat know why Kirara would be selected? I don't use her, but I've heard good reviews, so I'm curious, why Kirara out of everyone?
Yeah, I actually don't know myself. I actually think Karara was used by Tortoise yesterday in the mock battle. They were trying to use Karara in their clear, and Karara was actually placed on the right side, just dealing some damage on the lane that Manfred walks in. So, like, you know, near the second pipe. Oh, sorry, the second vent. That's where Tortoise-chan was placing Karara.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to look up what Kirara does now, because this is very intriguing.
Alright, let's see these operators that both of these guys are using. Very interesting. We see a mayor come out on Tortoise-chan's screen. Summoners do seem pretty good for, you know, directing the nukes. So maybe mayor can help do that with her dogs. Oh my god, we're seeing a savage! A savage is used as well! Very interesting that Tortoise-chan decided to use Savage over other guards.
You mean the guard that no one remembers and that we get once a year on our anniversary?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
that one.
Amazing. And by the way, for those of you who were wishing to see a Niche Knights clear, this technically does count. This is 5-star only gaming, if it looks like.
Wait, you're right. Is that the first time we're seeing this live? Okay, the 5-star niche. This would make Tama Stray Cat proud. Doesn't Tama do 5-star as well?
I believe Tama does. Hey Tama, in the chat, you got anything to say? Oh, Tama says, make me proud, Tortoise. Oh, and there's the Quora. It's 5 stars and the mascot. Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, the Quora. You were talking about that Quora earlier. Is that like a very important operator?
No, I was joking because, you know, Quora's a tortoise and it's Tortoise-chan. So
oh!
All right, Manfred's stunned. Got a Kanta in to do some damage, but it's very piddly damage, unfortunately, just because of... I'm not sure if Manfred is buffed at this point, or if Kanta is just not the best unit to be hitting Manfred with, but this will be interesting. Manfred's still in phase 1 for Tortoise-chan, and it looks like Custard just phased their Manfred, so there we go.
Oh, wow. Custard deciding to kill Manfred very early with that Fartooth, while Tortoise-chan is stalling, you know, taking his time. He's actually stalling using those... Oh my god! Huge nuke right there.
Very masterful nuke up on Tortoise's screen. But now they're a little short on DP. Franca...
Wow!
With the... Is that crit RNG? It is crit... Ooh, ow.
Wait, the timing was perfect. Wait, unless he's not trying to kill... Unless Tortoise-chan is not trying to kill the invisible enemies right there. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think they're going straight through. But Now here come those wave 2 slugs.
Oh, wait, look at this.
And baiting with Neural, amazing. And now using Aurora and probably going to pop that skill to get Manfred frozen, unable to do anything. There's that 50% damage amp that, wait, no. Wait, does Frozen do 50% or is that, no, that's Gnosis. Wait, Frozen is res resistant, or res debuff. Sorry, I've got Gnosis brain. But either way, Aurora doing massive amounts of damage there with her skill. Very excellent use of Aurora, who I don't think we've seen Aurora in this tournament yet, have we?
No, we haven't. However, on Custard's side, oh my, wait, just like that, Tortoise is done? I didn't even see what ended up happening.
Cannon call. Perfect cannon call with Spectre. If you missed it, what ended up happening was Spectre in the corner, pop immortality to guarantee that she survives. Manfred keeps attacking her, charges up the cannon, instant call, and it takes everyone out.
Oh
Beautifully
my
done.
God, that was incredible. I was about to comment how Custard's not that much behind, only like 8 enemy behind, but suddenly the nuke just destroyed it. Tortoise-chan won that one.
How fast was that? Hold on a second. That was 4 minutes.
No, holy, oh my God.
That was 4 minutes.
Wow, congratulations,
Technically,
Tortoise. You are now 1-0 against your enemy, Custard. Let's see how you do in the next round.
No, now I want to see what those bans are gonna be.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, if I was Custard, I would be laser focused on the bans because I think Custard does have a successful run. He does have the foundation, but he has to somehow disturb Tortoise's enemies. Tortoise's squad. That was way too fast.
Here's the thing, though. Tortoise is using a bunch of units that the average Arknights player who doesn't really specialize in 5 stars would really be using. So at that point, you have to wonder, does Custard have it in them to identify the key players in that 5-star squad to dismantle it effectively enough to gain an advantage? Or has Tortoise just put together such an unintelligible roster that only they know the workings of, that basically any ban is like splashing against a wall?
Yeah, I think it really depends. It is going to be very hard to ban against Tortoise-chan. Let's see right here. The bans are coming in now.
Alright, we've got a double summoner ban against Tortoise. We've got Seenmeyer Kirara, so cutting off those 2 easy cannon callers and the Kirara for the speed kill. From Tortoise, it looks like we've got the same 3, cutting off the true damage sources. So for Tortoise, it's business as usual.
Wow, okay, I guess Custard is... Wow, the only big difference in the ban so far from the previous round is that Custard has actually decided to also ban the Mayor. 2 summoners. And Tortoise going for your traditional ban. Wait, are they the same exact bans? Other than
Yeah,
Mayor?
those are the same exact bans. True damage.
Wow, okay, well, we'll see if Custard can adapt from here. We'll see how much that Mayor distorts Tortoise-chan's gameplay, but this seems... pretty much the same as the previous round.
Yeah, now I'm curious. Does Tortoise have a contingency for if 2 summoners are banned, and are they going to allow themselves to use Deep Color?
Yeah, we shall see right here. The match has started.
Risks are coming in.
I'm excited.
Alright.
What are we seeing so far?
So, you know how I was wondering why Kanto wasn't doing anything? That's because Tortoise is taking that base defense up risk, and it looks like Custard tried to dodge it on their risk selection, so who knows if that'll make a difference.
I see. Wait, oh, was Custard missing an operator right there?
Custard is going in with a squad of 12.
Huh, okay, interesting. Oh, like you mentioned, we do see a deep... Wait, we don't see a deep color.
That is a deep color.
Oh, wait, what's a deep color?
The 8 DP one.
Oh, wait, that's deep color? Oh.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, yeah, deep color, yes! Wait, did you say nut?
Huh?
What?
Huh? Anyways, yeah, the run. Hey, hold on a second. Did I see a Thorns for us? That's a Thorns lane holding.
Oh, wow,
with skill
interesting.
3. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Thorns matches up. If, for those who are not frequent users of Thorns, but let's be real, we've all used Thorns at least once. Thorns regains HP when not attacking, but doesn't really have that much longevity when like not supported by a medic. And he's going to be up against increasingly stacking slugs, so who knows if Thorns is actually a valid choice to lane hold while on skill 3 here.
Yeah, one thing that I found unfortunate about Thorns in this CC is that because of so many enemies getting stacked up on top of them, he's only single target. A lot of these enemies have high defense. It takes a lot of time for him to burst down waves compared to other operators in different choices as lane holders. But yeah, like why else do you think that Thorns is not used as often compared to other guards in this case?
Probably because everyone thinks that he's a skill 3 only unit and see his lackluster performance. But hold on a second, I want to draw your attention to something on Tortoise's screen. Does anything look a little weird to you, Vifer?
Is that the nightmare in that spot right now? I haven't seen a nightmare.
There's a nightmare, but it looks like she's on skill... Oh, nope, that's skill 2. I thought it was skill 1.
So can you explain to me, what exactly does Nightmare do? I'm a little confused. I've never really seen it in action before.
So Nightmare S2 is notorious for being bad because it's basically like a weedy S3. It inflicts the enemy with true damage taken over time, but also slows them, which is like the opposite of what you want to do when you're inflicting true damage based on distance traveled, one would think. But when it comes to enemies like slugs, which move quickly anyway and have very little base HP, it's a perfect matchup.
Oh, okay, interesting. So I wonder if Tortoise decided to go with Nightmare as a showcase and more kind of like a waifu pick, or if maybe her true damage actually played a significant role in there, because I'm not sure how long that Nightmare was up, but it didn't look like it was doing that much damage.
Vifer, how could you? That Nightmare just killed 4 slugs with a single skill activation.
But Soda can do that.
Vifer, I'm going to turn you into custard.
Bro, Soda's not even banned. They could have done the same thing. What do you mean?
There's not a 5-star. Wait. Here
my
comes the
God.
cannon call. Here comes the cannon call.
Oh?
Is this it?
Wait, already?
No
way.
No, it's too... They need more time. Manfred's about to pass out of range, but Vulcan's got the stat
my
increase.
God!
Well
Tortoise!
done. Well fucking played.
What was that?
Well fucking played. By the way, Vifer, I'll have you know that Chris Arcanite's the best EN caster player, uses Nightmare against slugs. Are you slandering our Lord and Savior, Chris?
Surely not. No, I take it back. Wow. That was incredible. I cannot believe what I just saw.
That was beautiful.
That was the fastest match I've ever... they're gone.
That was...
That...
Also just over 5 minutes. Technically like 4.5.
That is crazy. Wow.
Tortoise had luck.
Yeah, Tortoise-chan, congratulations. The Custer's clear was actually very close. You saw it was about 5-6 seconds behind, actually. So, very close. I think Tortoise-chan, so far, I gotta say, very powerful player. Very fast, clear. Seems to also have flexible picks. We'll have to see how they do in the top 4, right? Is that what it is now?
Top 4.
Okay. Let me change the stream title real quick. We are now going on to the semifinals. That is kind of shocking. What do you think so far about all of our players?
I think that there's a lot of unique strategy going on here. I was anticipating to see a lot more 6-star abuse, but we've got some pretty unique strategies with Manfred stalling and very judicious application of cannon directly to forehead. So I'm excited for these semifinals, especially, I mean, this is going to sound biased, but Tortoise-chan's matchup, because, come on, how do you go against a 4-minute time with 5 stars?
Exactly. That's actually mind-blowing to me. I'm very curious. I think if you are up against Tortoise-chan, you need to take this opportunity to find out and weed out how to disrupt this 5-star clear, because it's looking very, very strong right now.
Hey, what happens if you just ban all the summoners?
You just ban every single one and then he can't even
Yeah,
use it?
just
That's
ban
actually a good
Scene,
point.
Deep Color, and May. Like, what would happen?
I wonder if they would use Ling, you know? Like, what if they had Ling?
Instant disqualification.
So I feel like the thing is, Ling's dragons cost a lot more than those summons,
They
right?
do.
So that might
They do.
actually, yeah, that might not be possible. Think about that.
They also have a higher block count, but I don't know if that would play any different or any role there.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I guess we'll cross that road if that ever happens, but who knows? Like maybe banning the summoners, banning what else can you even ban in that case? It probably is the summoners that probably have the most impact for his clears. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's get the next batch of people in here. I think looking at the bracket, well, let's see what we have now. So, wow, look at that. Semi-finals, chat. Only 3 matches remaining. I guess 2 matches before our grand finals. But we have Everest versus Blue coming up. And then right after that, we have a Melt Up versus Tortoise-chan. Our top 4 challengers. Let's see how they do. I'm very excited. What do you think about this first matchup between Everest and Blue X?
I think that I can't say decisively how it's going to go because comparatively, Everett's matches were a lot less close, which means that Everett has technically had one less match to practice their strat. But this is Blue X, whose roster is primarily blue, so I don't think there's an overwhelming dominant meta unit edge that we might otherwise see. So I feel like this is going to be a very, very interesting set of bans and roster usages.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see very shortly what kind of strategies they pull out. I do think that Everest, being a very fast player, decisive 2-0 win in the first round, he will come up with a very strong strategy. But Blue, who is still experimenting with his squad, failed a few times, but he does have, I believe, a slower clear than some of the other contestants. Still very strong and hard to ban against, but still, I believe, like a little slower of a clear. And I'm a little worried about that as he goes into the later rounds.
Ultimately, it is going to come down to consistency, and speed without consistency is not going to pan out well. Like, what if you fail your 3 runs in a row, and what if those 3 runs are exactly what your opponent needs to get through with a slower clear? So who knows? I guess we'll see if Blue X's style of play can hold up here.
Yeah, I guess we'll see very soon. We'll see very soon. I believe Blue is also playing on his phone, so that there is a little disadvantage once again. He is our resident phone player that may, we're playing against Everest, who I think has a PC. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little worried for this man.
Hey, listen, I believe in the power of opposable thumbs.
It's not, his phone is burning, and then on top of that, he has to put down like very precise timings. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Who do you think is the most scary out of the 4 right now? We have again Melt Up, Tortoise-chan, Blue X, and Everest representing our top 4, our semifinals. My bet right now is probably Tortoise-chan.
If I were playing in this tournament, I would be afraid of Tortoise because I personally don't really step outside my niche, and when I do, I go to meta because I'm doing handholds. I don't go to 5-star because that's not the niche I play. So I have no idea what the hell Tortoise's roster is doing, and if I have no idea what it's doing, I don't know how to dismantle it.
Yeah, that is definitely a very good point. I don't even know where to start. Again, going back to that previous conversation, I think Tortoise, he has everything. I think at this point, he just has to make sure, or he or she, I don't know, has to make sure that they get their timings right because they have a winning formula right now. We have yet to see, I guess, like at this point, a ban that disrupts their strategy. They had a very good run through the top 64 brackets. They're on a power run at this point. What's it called? A power ride? What do they call that? I don't know.
No, I don't do this tournament lingo stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just made something up. I'm just stalling at this point. Can we? I think Blue X is having technical difficulties once again.
Technical difficulties?
His screen is black. I think it's.
Oh yeah, no, I can't see it.
Wait, is that Genshin Impact?
Heyo doxing?
That's Genshin Impact.
Oh
He was playing Genshin Impact
shaming-
this
If
entire
you're shaming
time.
his viewers,
Dude.
Ayo, Toxic Viper.
No, I actually think that's a Genshin Impact ad. It was a Genshin Impact ad, not
Genshin
sponsored.
Impact is boo,
No,
Genshin.
it was an ad. It was an ad. It was an ad though.
Boo.
No, we love Genshin. You know, Hoyoverse. Amazing,
Genshin is the reason
amazing devs.
the Yuri economy is dying. Viper's just like, what the fuck is that smoking?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, we've made it. I think his phone is living, guy. Let's pray for his phone a little bit. I think we are ready. This will be our semifinals. I'm very curious how this goes. Again, this is going to be a best of 3. It's the same format. We don't go to a best of 5 until much later in the grand finals.
Right.
Let's get started. Yeah, I can't speak. Honestly, at this point, I need to pee so much, and I'm kind of hungry.
You should go to the bathroom, and then I'll entertain chat. Smiley face.
Okay, honest, but I need to change the scenes, unfortunately. So let's just get started with the bands. Let's do this.
We've already got some bans coming in. Blue X is going first and taking out Neural the Radiant. Everek taking out Ashe. Looks like Everek remembers what was banned during Blue's matches. Blue X taking out the other True Damage Calcit, and Everek deciding to go for Irene, one of the 2 guard cores of Blue X's DPS. So that'll be very interesting to see how Blue X handles that. And finally, Blue X taking out Mudrock. Interesting pick. Maybe they think Everek is going to rely on Mudrock very significantly, and Everett going for the other half of the DPS core, taking out Chen. So there goes most of Blue X's ground DPS, but the snipers are untouched. I'm not sure if Blue X is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, this is a very interesting layout of operators that are being banned right now. We do have the NTR, again, one of the most popular operators in this series, but this is interesting. Evereck's side, with the Ashe ban, we did see Blue X use the Ashe quite frequently in his first runs. We have Irene, again, an operator that Blue X did champion, and we have the Chen. So Everett's definitely doing his research against Blue X. Blue X going more with your, foundational bans. We have NTR, Calcit, and Mudrock. So let's see how both of these guys do in the first match of the semi-finals.
We're about to get started.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, for a second I was like, where's your game?
SMH Viper. Alright, we're beginning. Here come the bans. Both of them taking Hate Drinker 3 and Slugs 3. And of course, both of them taking the cannon risk. It looks like, I think it was Everett deciding to go for the deploy time increase as well. They went through those risks so quickly that I couldn't actually read them all. It's actually very impressive, in my opinion, that these players are picking their risks so quickly. If it were me, I would probably be stuck for at least a solid 45 seconds, deliberating on what roster I want to bring and what risks would best match that. So you can tell that even if they haven't practiced, they've clearly put some thought into how they want to proceed with these runs.
Yeah, you can imagine what these players have been through at this point. They played quite a lot of matches, 4 rounds leading up to this point, full with different bands, different competitors, and they've been able to make it to this point. So this is going to be a very highly contested run. Clearly, again, Everest banning a lot of operators that Blue X is using. Blue X already going for a restart.
Hold up a second, by the way. That is a Thorns in Blue X's squad. Thorns skill 2, by the way. So it looks like we're going to be seeing that defensive Thorns performance that we've been talking about.
Very interesting. What exactly does Thorns skill 2 do for this stage?
Thorns stops attacking, if I'm correct, and instead reflects damage to, whenever he is attacked, he reflects damage to all the enemies in front of him, if I understand correctly. Haven't used Thorns in a long time, but given the attack rate of these slugs and the quantity of them, it basically turns Thorns into an anti-slug Gatling gun.
My god, so there we go. The Thorns placement is down. I guess he's going to be tanking all those slugs on the very right side. I've actually never seen this happen before. I've never seen people use Thorns for this particular use. What happened right there?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think he's getting the timing off or something.
Is there a banned unit in that roster? Oh,
like
Trading out conviction for a whispering. Interesting.
Oh no, he is dropping the conviction. One less blue-haired operator.
And dropping.
Oh?
Who was dropped? It looks like Blue's having some roster deliberation issues.
Yeah, and that is going to slow him down. Everest over halfway done, I believe, with this map already. He does have a ton of nukes ready. He's going to bomb the left side, and it's going to be over half, and he's going to be dealing with that Manfred right now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like even if Everett's bans like only targeted the DPS core, more importantly, it looks like they did psychological damage.
Yeah, Blue X struggling a little. Maybe he did need to go over this kind of strategy, you know, for the rest of the match anyways. So, you know, maybe he is sacrificing this first round to figure things out that he hasn't even noticed to this point, maybe. Who knows?
And of course, there's always the possibility that Everett might fail in their strategy, so maybe Blue X is holding out for that.
That is very true. However, it does seem like Everest has a very strong hold. A different Fartooth placement from the ones we've seen before on that tile, destroying Manfred. That is crazy.
Yeah. Manfred does idle just at the edge of Fartooth's range and then walks for 2 tiles more, so if you can get a Fartooth set up safely out of range, that is essentially a free phase 2 kill, and that's exactly what we've seen here.
Exactly.
So again, emphasizing the threat that Fartooth brings if you allow someone to use a Fartooth. And it looks like this is gonna just be, you know, a free wrap-up for Everett. There's the cannon call, there's the slug, and that's 1.
Wow, that was actually an incredibly fast run. I am very shocked.
Was that? That was under 4 minutes.
Wait, no way! A 4-minute
That
run?
was under 4 minutes.
Oh my god. Guys, we definitely have a match ahead of us. Unfortunately, Blue was not even able to test out this squad that he put together on the fly, but hopefully he does think of a new strategy going into the second round, because that was a very decisive win from Everest. Congratulations on that 1-0 so far.
Now you see, if I were Everett, what I would do is I would change up the bans a little. That way Blue can't take the same squad again and gets more psychic damage.
Oh no.
That's just me.
I wonder, like, at this point in time for Blue X, I feel like he has a clear, that is very impressive, but requires a lot more, how do I say it? I feel like it's a lot more restricted of a run.
It requires a lot more synergy, and when that synergy is taken away, then things start falling apart a lot more rapidly than if you made a strategy that revolved around, say, a handful of DPS or support cores that also has multiple contingencies.
Yeah, I think synergy is the best way to describe it, as you mentioned. So it seems like he was thrown off before he can even start the stage. Like you mentioned, that there were a lot of... oh, yeah, it's bans time. Yes, bans time. I guess we're coming through. They're already at it. Blue X going for that NTR ban once again. NTR being, again, one of the stronger units. Everest banning Calcit. Very interesting. Blue X actually did not use Calcit in his run. Or did he? I'm actually not sure. But Everest deciding to ban Calcit.
And Everett also went and banned one of the most dominant lords of the Lord archetype for their final ban. I don't know how Blue X is gonna come back from this.
Wait, guys, I scuffed a little. I meant Blue X banned Calcit. This is. Anyways, wow, very good bands, guys. Very good bands here. We have Everest, Ash, Irene. Yep.
Oh, there's the third bands.
Okay, they're coming through very slowly. I think Blue X has a very interesting ban right here. Fartooth, one of the stronger operators that dealt with Manfred in Everest, is clear. Let's see how that ban actually shakes him up, because he's gonna have he now needs a new formula to destroy Manfred. Wait, what?
Indeed. What?
What is that? What is that? Final that Frostlings?
That's a Lord. That is the most dominant Lord in this game mode, and I don't know how Blue X is gonna recover from this.
Okay, well, Let's see how these guys do. Interesting 6 bans. I think Everest did switch things up a little with that Frostleaf ban, but overall the other 2 operators are the same. We have an Ash ban and an Irene ban to counter the Blue X's DPS options. And on the other end, we have Blue X banning Fartooth, one of the main damage dealers on Everest's team. Let's get started with the match!
X letting Blue X have a Chen, but will that actually do more harm than good while Blue X tries to consider how to work Chen back into this? Meanwhile, Blue X taking out the Fartooth option, but there's still Everett still got a pretty good grasp on the cannon calling from what I see, so it's just a matter of controlling when and how it comes in and getting that damage in during those periods of vulnerability. And I see that there's a Scotty and Everett's squad. I'm not sure if it was Everett's match, but we did have a match that ended with a Scotty calling in a cannon and finishing off Manfred, so that is also a possible counterplay.
Yeah, I feel like Everest's uses of Scotty very much is to pick out the extra enemies that do leak through, just in case, as a final resort. In this case right now... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, no, and Scotty does have that revive, so even if you do use her to call a cannon, there's no detriment to that, really.
That's a good point. I believe this is one of the first matches where both participants started the stage at almost the same exact time. I was kind of surprised by the timing. So it seems like at this point, it very much is about whose clear is faster and how much they decide to stall and hold the pauses.
All right, it looks like the slugs are out at almost the exact same time for them. They're both holding on to that 2x speed. Whoever slows down first is, well, I don't want to say it's going to be a disadvantage, but they're going to have to keep up the momentum with dealing with Manfred in order to fully capitalize on this.
Yeah, looks like Blue X is going again with his signature leak of that first caster on the left side. He's staying true to his tactics.
Blue X really likes leaking those 2 left side casters over the Hate Drinkers, which I'm actually very surprised on. Normally the Hate Drinkers would be taken care of by an Irene, but as we can see, Blue X doesn't have access to Irene anymore, so... And he also hasn't put down his Silver Ash to take care of the Hate Drinkers yet, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is there, especially since we've already leaked a caster, so we can't let both go.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll have to see how he deals with the nukes, because I think he does have a plan in mind. Everest right now, definitely slowing down the game 1x just to get these damage meters up and make sure that the nuke goes the correct direction. He can't make the same mistake. I'm very curious to see if he's able to brute force this faster than Blue.
Well, Silver Ash on Everett's screen does have the Hate Drinkers in their slug forms, and it does look like Everett took no leaks as a risk 1, so he is going to have to deal with those slugs at some point. Is that Manfred in phase? Or that Manfred is in phase?
That is. It's phase 2 now.
Alright, Everett's charging up the cannon.
Wow, look at that on Blue X's screen. Very masterful usage of the nukes to get rid of the entire right side. I guess there was nothing to worry about for him.
Here comes that Worf Chen combo.
Oh my god, dude. The same combo we saw earlier.
That's only phase 1. Technically, Everett is still ahead. And here... Oh, there's that cannon.
Oh, using Scotty now to deal damage to Manfred. Oh my god, is that enough?
It looks good, and now it's just another cannon call, and that's game.
How close is Blue X to the finish line? He's very close himself, right? I can't even read it because the screen's so laggy.
No, those slugs on the left side aren't even out yet, and the cannon is nowhere near being called, so basically, no, that's game.
Wow. And there we go. Everest winning the first semi-final match, going 2-0 against Blue X.
Again, I thought that might be an indication that Everett isn't really getting as much time to practice as the others, but clearly it's just an expression of total dominance.
Yeah, this guy, he knows his stuff. I'm genuinely surprised by how well he's been performing in the top 8 bracket. Blue X going with the clear, but unfortunately a little behind. Everest did have the faster clear, more precise clear, despite getting banned out key units such as NTR and Calcit and his Fartooth. Great job to both of you guys. Great job to you, Blue X. Thank you very much, and congratulations for making it up all the way to the top 4. And Everest, we're going to see you in the grand finals in just a bit.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Well, 2 more matches to go.
That was very impressive. I think we're starting to see the caliber of players go up and up and up, and the clears are happening very quickly.
Yeah, there's less mistakes, less hesitation. I don't know. I kind of want to like I don't want to see someone mess up because that would be bad. But also,
Mhm.
I wonder what a mistake would look like as we get to this higher level of play.
Yeah, I wonder because at this point in time, as with any sport, it no longer becomes can you clear the stage? It's like, how do we not only disrupt your enemy from choosing easy operators to conduct your strategy, but in the strategy itself, make sure that you can have the 2x speed counter on as long as possible while making precise decisions. And that's very, very difficult to do with players that are just so prepared at this point. Everest, Tortoise-chan, showing very, very fast clears compared to their competitors.
But we did see a sub. We did see a sub 4 minute out of Everest, and we haven't seen a sub 4 out of Tortoise yet. Maybe that's just like lack of opportunity. But if it does come down to time, it'll be a very interesting thing to see whether 5-star only can match 6-star.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And I wonder, as hard as we described as banning Tortoise-chan, it's actually very difficult to ban out Everest as well. You saw those bans earlier, and 3 bans is quite a bit. He had no problem conducting a very similar strategy by replacing a few operators. So I think we're going to see a very skillful grand finals. But let us point our attention to this second semifinals. It's going to be between Meltup and Tortoise-chan. I'm very curious to see who wins this one. Let me get this set up in the background.
I feel like it could be a toss up. Both of these players have their strengths, obviously. But if it comes down to time, Tortoise-chan's strategy has shown itself to be both very flexible and replicable across multiple bands. So I don't know how this could go either way. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see this. Earlier we saw, 2-1s, 1-1s, tied up, but who knows? I kind of wonder if these 2 players will make it a very exciting match, or if someone's gonna take it 2-0.
All right, Meltup is leading the bands with a Spectre normal, so taking out.
All right. Sorry. Let me change the scene real quick.
Tortoise-chan banning Calcit. That's of the true damage. Meltup going a capture.
I think I'm not sure if it was me, but I think your mic is it's frozen up a little. All right, let's talk about these bans.
Oh, the intriguing ban. Mare.
So it looks like right now, Meltup has banned Spectre. Tortoise-chan decided to go with Calcit. Okay. Meltup again on the other side going with a Mia caster, taking out that true damage, and Tortoise-chan delivering with the Fartooth ban. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Tortoise right now is getting their 5 stars banned out. A Nightmare ban, even though Nightmare is pretty bad, right?
Well, hold on a second, vifer. Well, first of all, can you hear me? Audio check.
Yes, you're good.
Well, and I'm not sure if you've noticed, Meltup hasn't banned any summoner.
You're cutting off a little again. I'm so sorry.
All right, let me rejoin you then.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. I think it's time for the match itself.
Eggplants.
Are you ready? The countdown is starting. What were your thoughts again?
Meltup didn't ban any casters.
Oh, well, banned, I believe he banned...
Or not casters, summoners.
Oh, you're right. The summoner strategy again, Tortoise. Okay, Meltup going pretty quickly. It's like those risks almost instantly. Oh my god. Tortoise-chan not behind as well. Both players selecting their squads to enter this round.
Looks like they're taking some time with their unit selection.
Yeah, wait, actually both players taking their time. I wonder if the nervous jitters are getting to them.
Well, I bet they're very carefully navigating the bans, given that Tortoise just lost a very valuable self-generating lane holder and immortal, and Tortoise is basically out the free DPS.
I guess we'll have to see how they do then. Uh, I wonder. I wonder how this goes. You know, Tortoise is starting the match a little earlier than Melt Up. Will that make a big difference though?
Didn't Meltup have that PC difference in their first bracket? Though?
Yeah, that is true. He does have that PC diff.
So it's always possible that Meltup could make up some time there, especially since I feel like a 5-star clear is inherently open to more micro than a 6-star clear. So Meltup might gain some time back on that.
That is a good point. Yeah. Wow. I think Meltup does have a few more options available to burst down some enemies. He does have the Posey, very, very powerful, destroying the boss and other units as well. Surtur, being able to get through a lot of the slugs. So maybe he'll be able to catch up very quickly. He was only about 5-6 seconds behind on the start screen.
Man, there's so many 3, 4, 5, and 5 stars that I actually had to pull up the names again because I got confused looking at who's who, especially since Meltup has a deep color on top side and Tortoise is employing a scene.
Oh, wait, that's actually very interesting. I did not expect that going into this match.
Well, it is free bait, especially if you have a unit that whose module allows for a free deployment slot, so it is very economic in terms of resource management. But very interesting to see both of them employing summoners. Perhaps this is why Meltup didn't go for a summoner ban.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that's exactly. He's going for the same strategy. He thinks the strategy may be a little faster, so he had no reason to look for a ban on Tortoise-chan's side. On top of that, I do wonder if, you know, one thing I realized across all these matches is that NTR has never been available, and no one has had any time to even play with a strategy using her. I wonder if, you know, given how fast the clears we've been seeing, that maybe we might see a match where people try to target operators outside of, you know, the core foundation. You know, maybe not even ban NTR.
That is true. The reason I think that NTR might not ever get out of ban jail is because, let's be real, she is just the most efficient true damage option, and she only requires 1 deploy slot, unlike Calcin and Monster. Not to mention the fastest physical time on this map is achievable with an NTR. So that might be the reason we never see her come out of ban jail. But if there is a match that does let her loose, I think it might be interesting to see if players do actually go for her, because maybe people just didn't practice with her. And by the way, incoming clear from Tortoise.
Oh my god, this was way too fast.
Here comes that cannon call.
How did Tortoise get to the very end so quickly, and just like that, Tortoise wins the round?
How fast was that? Oh, sub 4 minutes.
That was crazy. I felt like they didn't start too far apart, and yet Tortoise pulled ahead by so far, like so long. Like, we have Melt up here still waiting for another cannon proc.
Hold on, I'm actually going to go into the VOD and check something, because Tortoise is getting through these waves very, very efficiently. So
yeah, and I don't feel like Meltup is being too inefficient with his nuke placements either. So I wonder, like, what exactly is it about the 5 stars that he's using, or that she's using, that's getting them ahead? Well, I guess we'll wait for both participants to get their bans ready once again, but that was a very clear victory from Tortoise-chan, basically echoing what we had talked about in the past in their quarterfinals match. Tortoise-chan showing up with a squad that is very, very solid right now, being able to get that clear in a sub 4 minutes, using operators that are very hard to ban out, and, you know, despite Meltup not even failing, going through very quickly themselves, it seemed like the time difference was just insane.
Looking back on the VOD, I can't definitively say it's one thing or another, but you'll notice that Tortoise-chan has a habit of dealing with both the left side second caster and Manfred's first phase at the same time, which saves a lot of time, and I guess minimizes the need to do multiple cannon calls, which allows Tortoise-chan to easily just like call the cannon on the second wave slugs that spawn, and then immediately prepare to call it again on the final wave and Manfred as he passes by. So, really, it's just supremely efficient management of mobs and timing.
Yeah, I guess we'll see if they can do the same exact thing in this second round. Looks like the banning phase has already started for both of the players. Melt Up versus Tortoise-chan. Tortoise-chan is up 1-0.
Oh, Melt Up
right.
going with the triple summoner shutout.
Oh, is that what they're doing? Right now on the screen, we have a Sane ban, a Mayor ban as well coming from Melt Up. Tortoise-chan deciding to ban out that Fartooth. And I think in the back end, we are seeing, I believe there is that triple summoner.
And Tortoise sticking with the same true damage and Fartooth bans.
Okay, I guess this is going to be very interesting. So that also means that Melt Up now cannot use their 5-star summoners. But again, this raises the question, like, will Tortoise pull out that Ling? Will they do
Both of them
it?
pull out a Ling.
Like, my question to you, Zai, is like, what other alternative can they use for summoners? Is it just Ling?
Pure copium.
It's like, I wonder how much of Tortoise's strategy does rely on that Ling, though. I guess we'll have to see very soon. Tortoise-chan finishing out the bans with that NTR, that very classic band. Let's see how these players do in this second round of this match.
Yes, a lot of Tortoise's strategy has revolved around holding the enemies back with a scene drone or using a summoner token to call the cannon in. So without those 3 summoners, let's see if she picks up a Ling or decides to go for another strategy entirely. Like, how valuable is that summoner after all?
All right, it looks like both players have started. Both selecting their squads right now. Let's see what they cook up.
Tortoise has claimed that nightmare back. A Benna and a J. Oh, for fast redeploy.
That's very interesting. Tortoise very decisive with the picks despite the summoner bans going into the map first. Oh my gosh. I wonder how that J and that oh, it looks like the Karara is back as well. I guess no Ling at all,
and
just
a
no summoners.
Maru. It looks like she's going to be relying very heavily on doll keepers and their secondary lives to take the place of the summoner and the token.
What? What an interesting strategy. I don't think we've seen this one from them before. Still with that similar Nightmare placement, though. So I think like Nightmare is very good at destroying those slugs, as you mentioned, and as I underestimated.
See, right there.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, what
Slug
the heck? Oh my god, those slugs are... they're evaporating! What was that?
Slug, go bye-bye.
Okay. All right, well, what do we have here on the Melt-Up screen?
Melt-Up's brought out the Ling. So using a Ling instead of a deep color.
He did it. He did the thing. The blue woman is being activated.
You didn't rhyme thing with Ling, and I am supremely disappointed in you.
I hate Ling as well.
Oh my god. Alright, it looks like they're both on the same pace. The Artificers are out. Actually, Tortoise-chan slightly ahead, given when their Artificers put down the channel. So it looks like Tortoise-chan is entering the Manfred section with a slight time advantage. And of course, we'll see if she continues her dominance of the field with the dual second caster Manfred kills.
Wow, this might actually be a lot more closer than I think. You know, even though Melt-Up is a little behind right now, he has dealt some damage to Manfred, I believe. And
but Kirara tanking Manfred. Man, there's so much to look at right now.
Wait, Kirara can tank Manfred? Oh, no!
Oh! A misfire cannon! It looks like she put the doll keeper down on the left side too late. That is a misfire. And that'll give Melta plenty of breathing room to proceed with whatever strategy they've got in mind.
Oh no, Tortoise-chan. They are not invincible. The slight mess up did put them a little behind now. Meltup just has to pull off a successful run.
But Meltup's in trouble too. Meltup has a very aggressive cannon call incoming, and Manfred is in transition phase, meaning that
no.
Manfred is just shooting wildly everywhere. And now Meltup has no DP and can only leak 2 of these 3 enemies that are walking through.
Oh no, not the caster!
Yes, on top of Manfred now being very active and angry, and the 4 gifts coming in who are going to turn Mountain into Mountain. So basically, Meltup's also screwed.
Yeah, Meltup right now probably just, yeah, there we go. I was about to say he's probably considering restarting the stage. Is it worth it? Is he worth it to maybe risk it? But no, he's restarting the stage to gather some time. He is now behind Tortoise, who we thought was
what
on the loss.
happened?
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I blame Ling.
It's Ling. Ling messes up your run.
No, Ling and all those dragons. Like, if you notice though, Meltup was using Deep Color's tentacles as mere cannon fodder, while using Ling's dragons to lane hold. So Meltup is paying more in DP and upkeep cost than if he was just using Deep Color. So I blame Ling.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if he decided to change the strat on
And
the spot.
At that. Look at that, 18 DP. 18
that is true.
DP versus Deep Color's what, 3, 5?
Yeah, it is a very expensive unit to be used as a cannon fodder, so you might as well use it as a lane guard. But I guess, just like you mentioned, if you use it as a lane guard, the strategy does change, and maybe you're not able to do the same things as you do before.
I mean, on one hand, as you saw there, it's a free sacrifice. Like, you don't lose a unit and make them cycle their 60-second redeploy timer if you're using Ling Dragons, but also you're paying 18 DP for what? A cannon call? Where you could just pay 9 by retreating someone, or even like using someone like Cantabile, who would be less expensive.
Yeah, very interesting decision right here. I believe it's a very unique case where even though Meltup's initial strategy did rely on the Deep Color, now that he's banned all 3 5-star summoners, he does not have the same options that he did to perform the same run before. And now Tortoise, you know, even though they have a slightly different run, less dependent on the summoners, they seem to have a strategy to deal with it.
By the way, it looks like Tortoise pulled off the phase perfectly this time. Manfred is down. Here come the slugs. Here comes the cannon call right now. Wait. Oh, that was almost a misplace. That was almost a misplace.
Wow.
Sweet recovery. Here comes the Aurora, and Aurora's single block, by the way, being used to safely leak the hate drinkers. So masterfully done there. And now retreating Aurora just so that cannon call can be achieved. Here comes Kirara with the tankiness, and here we're about to see that cannon call come in any moment now. Any moment now.
He has the same
Unless
strategy
Kirara
before.
kills
We've seen this one before.
Here we go. There it is.
My God.
There it is. Absolutely unstoppable.
Wow. That was the definition of adaptability. This man, Tortoise, even though all 3 summoners had been banned, they still pulled forward with a new strategy using the same foundation, and they got that win. 2-0 over Meltup.
And one could even argue that the Doll Keeper method was more efficient since, again, depending on the summoner, not as many deploy slots might be consumed. Same with DP.
Wow. I am impressed. Tortoise-chan,
I am also impressed.
Congratulations. You will be advancing to the grand finals where you face against Everest, the final enemy before the grand prize, and of course, all the reputation you'll be coming out with this. I'm really impressed. And even on top of that, Meltup, great fight. Tortoise-chan's a very hard enemy, but you put up a good fight. You made it to the top 4. Congratulations to you as well. You'll be walking away with, I believe, $25. Yeah, you're not a scam. Great. Let's see. Let me get this set up. I can't believe we're finally here. We're finally at the grand finals.
You know, I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup for one specific reason. Both Everick and Tortoise are entering this segment with two records of 0-2 or 0-2. So they're both undefeated.
That is true. Right? Yeah. I actually did not
And they
expect
both
this
have
coming
speed
in.
kills.
True, yeah,
both
very speedy runs, and I think it's going to come down to the wire. It comes down to how quick they execute the run, but it also comes down to how quick they are selecting the correct risks and squads, because that part also takes a chunk of time.
I think it'll also come down to how well they ban as well, given that we're doing 5 bans instead of 3 now. So, I mean, if you were Everick, you could theoretically take out 3 summoners and 2 doll keepers and really, really try and put the pressure on Tortoise.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. But how do you think Tortoise can take pressure or put the pressure on Everick? It seems like
Well,
there's like such a straightforward strategy to ban out Tortoise, but how do you flip it around?
well, you could also consider that if you want to look at high DPS units for 6 stars, um, I mean, the options are pretty self-evident. There's NTR, Calcit, Fartooth. If you wanted, you could do Pazyamka or Surtur, or even you could try and go after support units like medics or lane holders. So there's plenty of room to adapt there. But most importantly, if you're most familiar with the 6-star heavy strat, if those options get cut off, you're going to have to do a lot more thinking to pivot to lower stars or different ops.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this. Everyone, remember that as we go into the grand finals, this has been converted into a best of 5, which means that each opponent or each challenger has to win 3 times against their opponent to claim the victory. This is where it really depends on adaptability and skill. Can these players come up with new bans and new strategies to make their clears just a tad quicker than their opponent? So it looks like we're going to be going into the ban phase very soon. What is your prediction here, right here? Like, what do you exactly see as the win condition for both Everest and Tortoise?
I think it's going to be contingent on several things. Firstly, of course, how well the bans do in disrupting each player's strategy. Secondly, if they let nerfs get to them, of course. And then finally, just it's going to come down to who has the most time-efficient strategy
Yeah, I think
compatible
it
with the
does.
bans.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think, man, I wanted to say it was Tortoise-chan, but dude, Everest has shown some clears that have been way too fast, and he's using very good 6-star operators that on a ground even will perform better than the 5 stars that Tortoise-chan has been using. So let's see what happens. Honestly, I think we have a good grand finals ahead of us.
We do. Meanwhile, Iron Cobra's accidentally gone all in on the Gamba.
Oh no! Wait, how much? What's the Gamba right now? Oh my God, guys, look at the Gamba! 200k to 320k.
Most of that's Iron Cobra, by the way. Just wanted to
Are you
get that out
serious?
there. Look at Iron Cobra put 112 on Team Everick.
Oh my
So
God!
no pressure. You've got one of Viper's mod's
Yeah.
life savings in there.
Holy crap! I'm actually very excited for this run. I actually think this one will be posted on YouTube. So, hello YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Welcome to the grand finals. Let's get this started. I think the band pick is starting soon. Let's go in.
Alright, what have we got? What's on the menu? Alright, Everick targeting Amiya Caster.
Okay.
Tortoise banning Posy. Everick targeting Aurora. Very good choice.
Unfortunately, I think chat is seeing it a little late, but right now we have the Amiya ban coming through right now. The Amiya caster ban. So taking out that true damage 5-star option from Tortoise-chan. Tortoise going for the Posy ban. A little interesting.
How are you supposed to fit 5 bans on 6 tiles?
5 bans?
Wait, I thought they were banning more ops.
Oh no, they're banning only 3 each.
Oh, I thought it was 5.
I've scammed you. I've scammed you.
Wow, I thought you said you weren't gonna scam this stream, Viper.
What do you mean? We were originally going to do 10 bans total. Wait!
NTR's not banned.
Oh, is that the sorry, chat can't see that yet. But I guess we don't have an NTR ban? let's walk through the bans top down again. All right, we have Everest going with that Amaya ban. Caster true damage is out of the picture. Tortoise going with Posey and Fartu, getting those 2 snipers out of the way. Everest returning with that Aurora. He definitely knows that Aurora is a very good unit that Tortoise uses. And an interesting, a Carrara ban. I'm not entirely sure exactly what Carrara does, but it looks like Everest is really going for Tortoise's neck with these bans. And like you mentioned, the final ban is Calcit. There will be no NTR ban, and I wonder who will that profit at this point. This is going to be an interesting round.
Wait, hold on. I might have confused Tortoise because I thought it was 5, and so Tortoise thought it was 5.
Oh, really?
I think I fucked over
I think
Tortoise.
you confused them.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Tortoise.
Oh, no. He was planning the bans for later.
Oh, no.
It's okay. These are the bans. Unfortunately, we're not doing 10 bans.
I guess I'm scamming today, too.
It's okay. That's why the finals features a best of 5 and not a best of 3, because they'll have more chances to prove that they are actually the true champion. Let us head into the matches now. I'm excited for this. Let's get started.
I guess I've been hanging out with you for too long, Vifer.
Oh, now you've learned to scam?
Yeah, I guess NTR is open. I guess we got our match where we wanted to see NTR in play. Whoops.
Yeah, that's actually very surprising. Maybe it was intentional. I feel like NTR is usually a first ban, so the fact that, maybe they waited, maybe that was intentional. NTR is now open, and we'll see if either players take it, because that unit will be a huge deciding factor in who's faster.
I mean, it's essentially free real estate, and I guess depending on how this segment of the tournament plays out, I might actually disclose what goes into the 2-minute 30-second clear. And yes, that is actually a time that you could physically get if you play absolutely perfectly and never pause.
All right, explain it to us. What exactly goes into that clear?
So the way that Wave 2 spawns is actually dependent on several factors. It depends on who you kill and when you kill them. Basically, if you kill Manfred's Phase 1 before the second Sarkaz caster comes out, then you will start Wave 2 early. But
and only NTR can do that?
Oh, it's the... Yeah, wait, hold on. Wait, what is it? No, Calcit can... Hold on. I don't know. There's a really specific way that you have to do it, because the slugs and the Sarkaz from Wave 2, like from that group that the caster is in, have to be on the field. If not, it doesn't count. So basically, you have to kill Manfred within this very specific window that only Neural Radiant actually does efficiently. I think Cal can do it too, but it's harder to pull off with Cal because Monster gets distracted very easily. So once you do that, you basically force Wave 2 out very early, and then clean up left side with Silver Ash and right side with Cannon, and if you do it perfectly, you get 230.
Did anyone understand that? Well, we'll see if Everest pulls that off right now. I think Tortoise-chan did have to restart, unfortunately, so he is very behind compared to Everest. This is not looking too good for him.
It looks like Everick is calling Cannon with Arketo. Hello.
What? How did Arketo
Very.
do that? No
Viper.
way!
Viper. I'm telling Iron Cobra.
Bro, that's actually hacks, dude. What was that?
Arketo's talent gives her a shield that absorbs 1 instance of damage, no matter how big, how small, or what type.
It's a permanent... It's just like... So not permanent. It negates any amount of damage. It doesn't even matter how high.
Yep,
That
any
is
damage.
broken.
1 damage or 4,400 damage. True arts or physical. 1 negation. No questions asked.
Wow. Well, that was a very skillful use of Arketo right there. Mortals did not know that option even existed, right? So, very nice, Everest. Very skillful run so far, dealing with so fast. Nothing is going wrong with this run. This is looking like a clear W at this point.
Very interesting that Everick is deciding to go to challenge the Hate Drinkers with Eunectus, which means that Eunectus will have to kill both the swordsmen and their slugs and the gifts that are coming in. It looks like Everick didn't take attack buffs for this reason. And, oh, he's lining them up to cannon them all
my
right
god,
now.
it's perfect. It's too perfect. He has the timing.
But will he go for it, though? Because he could just kill them all. Oh, wait, no, there's a Hate Drinker alive. Oh, this is gonna get messy.
Oh, no. He's...
All right. And there's the Radiant stun, but will it be enough? Oh, and Radiant's in range of
Oh,
the
no.
Manfred thing, the drone. And Surtur just got procced.
Oh no, things are falling down for Everick.
Everick's struggling to hold it. If Everick pulls this off, I am going to be so surprised. Manfred with the extra range, aggressively targeting Neon right now. Here comes the cannon call.
The cannon call.
And he's out of DP. He's out of DP. That's a restart.
Oh no, that's a restart.
Which means that Tortoise-chan might be able to pull this back. Here comes Tortoise's cannon, but it's in the wrong place. Elysium is going to die before it goes off.
Oh my
Perfectly
God.
done. Perfectly done, but without Aurora, Tortoise is going to have to stall harder in the left corner with Vulcan, otherwise Manfred's going to get out of range. Now, Manfred is doing... I don't know if this is a double tap Manfred. It doesn't look like it, and now he's locked himself into that attack speed where he's attacking so quickly that he can't physically move, and that's the stun. Here comes Franka. Can Franka survive with her outrageously high HP? It looks good from here. It looks good from here.
Oh
that's
my
one.
God. Tortoise-chan.
The comeback.
A victory, 1-0 against Everest. What a surprising turnaround right there. That was a shocker.
Oh my God, I'm sorry again for confusing you.
Oh no,
Please
it's
forgive
okay. Even with the confusion, they succeeded in this first round. It goes 1-0 to Tortoise.
That was beautiful. But it looks like even with NTR in play, the 2-minute 30-second strategy is just way too... Yeah, no, I actually don't understand.
Yeah, what exactly do you think went wrong with what exactly went wrong with that run right there for Everick? It looked so perfect up until that point.
I think it started going wrong when... I think the core of what went wrong is that Everick takes HP 1 and doesn't leak the hate drinkers, which means that they have to confront the swordsman. And the fact that Eunectus is their choice means that they're only confronting one at a time. So the second one is coming in late and thus is still alive when Eunectus ends her skill. Combine that with the fact that it's already done one loop and it's going straight to the box. So there's no real way to like stop its progress, and then to call the cannon you have to put someone out in Manfred's range, which Everick did repeatedly on top of taking Manfred's extended range. So all in all, it was just a recipe for disaster the moment the hate drinkers started gaining control of the middle.
Yeah, even with your entire explanation, I think he got actually very close to dealing with the hate drinkers. Is that what they called? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
You saw that they had just only a sliver left. Anyways, I believe it's time to go back into the bands for round 2 of this grand final. Let's see what's going on with the bands right now.
Very interesting band selection from Everick.
All right, so far it looks like we have an Elysium down. Okay, interesting. Going for that flag bearer, hoping to slow Tortoise down by just a tad. We have a Fartooth ban from Tortoise, still keeping that ban, trying to prevent Everick from using Fartooth to deal damage to Manfred. Oh wow, look at that! Everick coming in with a Myrtle ban. So both flag bearers that have been commonly used in this clear completely out of the picture, trying to strip Tortoise-chan of the DP options.
I wonder how efficient that's going to be in the long run. Like, surely this is going to disrupt Tortoise's opening, but you have to consider that the opening itself isn't that fast. There's not much urgency. There's no real rush because the only lane you have to block is the right side, and then the other slugs do a loop, and the left side isn't even in play for like a good 45 seconds. So ultimately, I think the question is, can these Vanguard bans cut Tortoise off in the beginning? Because once the momentum gets rolling, I don't think it's going to have as much of an effect as Everick is hoping.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see very soon. That is, like you mentioned, very, very interesting that they went, or Everest went for a DP ban. Tortoise is finishing out their bans with a Calcet and NTR ban. 2 really, really strong true damage units. And finally, Everest clears out with a Mia Caster, the other true damage for a 5-star squad. Let us see the match begin.
I mean, theoretically, if you were Tortoise, I feel like you could still leave NTR in just to inflict psychic damage.
That is true. Even with the NTR, they did struggle a little harder, but I believe Everest was faster. I believe the match has also started, so let's see what they pick.
All right, we got Cantabile, who, by the way, Kanta, an amazing pick for DP gen, especially because I believe Tortoise took the defense up plus 200 tag, so that means Kanta is just generating DP all day, every day for 15 seconds.
All right, we'll see how that plays into a strategy. We do have Everest getting into the stage quite a bit earlier, maybe five or so seconds a little earlier. Tortoise-chan starting out with that Cantabile, or no, that's Black Knight. Wait, have we seen a Black Knight here yet?
I don't think we have. It is a very strange option, but clearly one that's working to get units out on the field very quickly. And might I add that Tortoise has her Aurora back, so we are, as they say, on schedule.
Oh, wait! Oh, no, wait! We have an Elysium on the stage, Everest!
Wait! No way! No way! Wait! No, wait! She gonna... Is Tortoise... Oh, I thought Tortoise was gonna call in the Canish Hut with the Baku, and I was gonna fangirl so hard. Okay.
Oh, I was like, wait, what are you focused on?
Oh,
But I'm not sure if you paid attention to that, but Zai, we actually had Everest taking Elysium by accident.
Wow, wait, hold on. Chotomate, you banned Elysium, though.
Oh, no!
Wait, awkward.
It's a little awkward, but we do know that Tortoise, it still depends on if Tortoise can finish this map with success. Everest is behind now, though.
Tortoise does have that time advantage now, though, so even if things get stressful, she can always just ease up on the 2x and, like, think things through, because she's bought that 30-second, like, time gap, if you will.
Yeah. Looking at Tortoise's squad this time, what exactly is different? We do see the scene put back into play. We see a Zima being used, so there is quite a bit of difference in the squad that Tortoise is using.
I would honestly say it's just the Vanguards.
Oh, wait, you're right.
It's just the
Oh my,
Vanguards.
you're actually right. It really is. Instead of having flag bearers now, they just put down maybe slower DP regenerators.
Yes, but I think it still remains to be seen if... Wait.
Huh?
Did Tuya just remove Kanta's stun? Or wait... Oh, wait, no, the caster didn't bind Kanta. Wait, what?
Oh no! Oh no!
Something went wrong on that left side. Kanta was placed down, the caster didn't bind Kanta, and then Tortoise retreated Kanta thinking that the caster had bound, but it didn't, and then it went for whoever that other unit was, which obviously didn't work. So, misfire on the caster's part may have saved Everett's run.
Yeah, I do think so. Unfortunately, Tortoise does have to start all over Everest right now at the 30 enemy mark, basically. He's very, very ahead this time. Tortoise basically has to rely on Everest making a major fluke in his strategy, but at this point in time, Everest can take his time. The tables have basically turned.
By the way, if I may, there seems to be some confusion in the chat over the misfire with Kanta, so may I explain?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So, I'm not 100% sure what causes this, but if I had to guess, it might have something to do with casters or any enemy that has a ranged attack and a ranged skill. When both of them are available, if they're not in melee with someone, it's a toss-up as to which one they'll do. So it might be possible that the caster had the bind and the attack up at the same time and chose to attack normally rather than do the guaranteed bind, which only happens if you put someone down after the caster has charged the SP for the bind skill.
That was the reason why that clear failed and not the placement?
I can't say definitively, but based on past experience, I would say it is a strong theory.
So maybe it was bound to fail regardless, so...
No, it would have been a
unfortunate.
50-50. It would have been a 50-50 toss-up. It honestly could have been saved if Tortoise had noticed that it had been a normal attack and not a bind, but given that it's basically just true RNG and pretty rare, I don't blame her for not noticing.
Oh wow, and just like that, Everest, with a very skillful manipulation of the nukes, he is able to clear the stage without any problem. And I think that's it.
And yep, that looks like a win for Everick. And just like that, Everick came back.
Wow. Again, we had a very interesting round. It definitely flipped mid-match. We actually thought that Tortoise was about to take an easy 2-0 at one point, but look at that. It's tied now.
Man. Hey, Everick, you better send a thank you card to that caster.
I'm shocked. Wow, this is going to be a crazy grand finals. I actually thought coming in, Everest using a lot stronger operators, I guess, holistically stronger given his variety of units, and Tortoise using his very interesting 5-star squad. I felt like Everest had a clear advantage, but this is looking like it's going to be a very close match altogether.
I think whoever wins this third match is going to definitively set the tone for the next 1 or 2 matches. Like, so much is on the line with this third match.
Yeah. I wonder if this game will, or this match, I wonder if this match will go to a best or a 5, like an actual 5-round match, because that would make things super hype. Definitely scripted, yes, definitely rigged. But we'll see.
It might depend on if the players blunder or not, because as we can see, like there were multiple, like Everett got a banned unit, and then Tortoise failed to realize that the caster didn't bind. So these are just like simple player error mistakes that yet changed the entire flow of that one individual match. So if something similar happens, I think we could see an upset.
I guess we'll have to find out. I believe we can now head into the banning phase of the second round in this grand finals between Everick and Tortoise, our top 2 challengers. We're starting off with an Aurora ban coming out from Everick. Very interesting, going for that similar ban, making sure that Tortoise does not have that option to deal massive damage to Manfred. And Tortoise responding with sniper bans. We have Arketo banned out and Fartooth banned out, key units that Everest has been showing. Yeah, where does Arketo fit in that?
Left side clearer, honestly. Essentially the same as banning Mudrock, except with the advantage that Mudrock can actually tank cannon shots more than once. I feel like it might be to try and unsettle Everick's, like, normalcy on the left side, perhaps?
I guess we'll have to see about that. Everest responding with an Amiya caster ban, the same ban from the last banning phase. Tortoise-chan finishing out their bans with a Calcit, taking away that true damage option. Did not go for an NTR ban! And Everick responding with Carrara. Yeah, no NTR!
Interesting. Maybe Tortoise heard me about leaving NTR open for psychic damage.
Maybe, baiting Everick to try a clear with NTR, even though this entire tournament, he probably did not.
Throw in this unfamiliar unit, I dare you.
I dare you. I guess we'll see. It's tied up now. 1-1 between Everick and Tortoise. This is round 3.
Especially since we've proven that no one's attempting to run the 230 strat because it's a little too crazy. So I think Tortoise feels a little comfortable now letting NTR out of the banning pen.
Yeah, and I guess we do see Everick taking that NTR.
What skill was that?
I couldn't quite see at the moment, but
yeah, it was so fast.
It was very fast. They're going very quickly. Oh wait, I misspoke. There is no NTR. What?
Huh. All right. I guess Everick's not falling for the bait.
Oh my god. Well, I guess that's so funny. One of the best units.
I don't think Everick took a support unit, so if he really wanted, he could have taken an NTR skill 2 as a support, just as an emergency button, but it is what it is. By the way, looks like... Alright, interesting. So the contingency plan is that it looks like Bagpipe is eating that shot instead of not Arketo, who is now named Exia.
Wow.
Right.
I'm actually very nervous for both these people. I can imagine, even in the moment, as you're selecting the squads, both players are probably very nervous. It's probably easily just out of nervousness that Everick forgot to select his final support. But we'll see how that affects the match.
I mean, he could also have thought it was a waste of 10 seconds, especially if you don't get who you want on the first go.
True. That's actually a very good point. And in a match where both of these players hit the start button very quickly, and that time does basically matter with the speed run. that probably makes sense.
Let's see if Everick wants to save Exu. Alright, Everick does not save Exu and instead deploys Kanta to take care of that last Sarkaz, which Arquetta would normally do. Alright, so...
We do see a different variation of operators coming out from Tortoise's side again. We have Savage coming out to deal a lot of damage to the left side along with Cantabile.
I think they've been doing that for the past few sets, but their formation in the middle is looking a little strange to me. I'm not...
Of Tortoises?
Yeah. I think they're going to try and... I think she's going to try and cannon call here, but... Alright, here's the bind on the Franca. Very good. Alright, here's that cannon call coming in on Tortoise's right side.
Wow, this is looking very close. Right now, in terms of numbers, Everick is far ahead at 43 enemies. Tortoise-chan catching up with that one nuke.
Province being used instead of... I actually don't remember who kills...
oh my god! Wait, you're right. Province just completely smothered that boss. I did not think she would deal that much damage.
Alright, so it looks like...
I can't really tell who's ahead at this point.
No. Tortoise is in trouble.
What's going on with his run? Oh, he doesn't have the cannon up in time.
The cannon... It depends on if Ellie can live this shot, I think. Ellie just... Oh, there's Cora. Right,
oh my god, the timing!
Very nice recovery. But now Tortoise is a bit short on DP for this section.
Oh no.
She needs a unit who can bait enough shots and do enough damage to Manfred, which will Wait, why are you putting out Scene? Whoa, a total panic deploy. A total panic deploy.
And just like that, Everick takes it.
Everick takes it, yeah.
It's a very close run though. It was very, very close. I think a matter of seconds between the two runs. Tortoise definitely dealing with a lot more issues at the very end, but Everest having a very clear run, having even extra damage to spare.
Yeah. If Tortoise had got maybe 1 or 2 Manfred autos in that transition, it would have probably been a lot closer. But as it was, very cleanly done on Everick's part, and clearly not falling for that NTR bait.
Yeah, I actually wonder if he thought about that going into that round, that, you know, he has the NTR open. Does he go for a squad that maybe he practiced with less, or would he rather go with a squad with the intention of not even using NTR? So very, very smart on that. We don't know if that actually played into the actual results, but a very, very interesting observation for sure.
All right, now let's see what the bans look like for this one.
All right. Yeah, I think they're going in. They're about ready for the banning phase. This is a very crucial point of this match. We do have a... what's it? Oh, okay. Bans are coming in very soon. Everest is up 2-1 against Tortoise. This is the final chance. This is match point. Let us see these bans come through. I wonder what kind of bans they'll do this time. I think at this point in time, this is a best of 5, and this is the most matches any player has played against the other player. Right now, we're starting off with a Posey ban coming out from Tortoise, getting rid of that DPS option from Everick. Bans are also coming through very, very shortly. Okay. Everick. Everick coming out again with that Carrara ban, still destroying one of the main DPS options for Tortoise that has proven very successful so far. Tortoise responding with that Far-Tooth ban. So again, Tortoise very much is targeting the snipers. Maybe that's something that he finds as the major threat in Everest's strategy right now. It really is the snipers, isn't it?
I would actually say that Tortoise is stepping out of her comfort zone and banning units that are proven to be an Everick strat rather than preventative measures of true damage, because it doesn't matter if Tortoise shuts off those true damage avenues if Everick has absolutely no intention of using them anyway.
That's actually a very good point. Oh my god, look at that! Finishing it with a Silver Ash ban. You know, one that we talked about in the past being a very strong operator, being able to see those hidden enemies and deal quite a lot of damage to slugs and really all types. This is definitely what you mentioned. Him stepping out of that comfort zone and banning operators directly used in Everest's clears. Everett taking that Carrara ban to finish off the 6 operator ban. This will be match point. Once again, 2-1 in Everest's favor. Let us get on to the match.
But I will say that hypothetically, if Everett does want to try and start incorporating true damage into the roster, this actually would be the match to do it if he feels comfortable, given that there is technically some room to lose. But honestly, if Everett wants to just go with the tried and true strat, I wouldn't blame him, because why not?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. This is really it. Tortoise-chan back against the corner. Let's see what kind of squad they go with this time. And let's see what Everest also takes. I wonder if he's also handicapped with these very targeted bans.
Again, it might come down to the diversity of 6 stars. Because look, we've got a Cal in the team now.
Oh wow, Calcit!
Yes, and then of course the 3 defenders that we've seen, some Vanguards, Laneholder Mountain, Scotty for Cannon Call, and Surtur as a backup button. Again, no support unit, so it seems Everett's still very secure in the strat.
Yeah, I think he does have this boost of confidence being able to use that Calcit now. A really strong lane holder, very tanky to even tank out one of the nukes. So we'll see how he uses that. Tortoise-chan on the other side, using that same Savage strategy on the left side, Savage plus 2e, and then using some Vanguards as well as other operators to just nuke the right side. So both sticking to their roots for sure.
Yes, it looks like Tortoise is playing that very, very well practiced opener. And Everett is as well. I don't think we're going to see any major variants until the Manfred, until when Manfred comes out. Which, by the way, Everett is already preparing for by pre-charging Monster. So it looks like Everett is going to go for a Phase 1 spawn camp. Whereas if I'm anticipating correctly, Tortoise is going to be slightly behind on that by waiting to do the usual Manfred kill up by that right side high ground tile.
Wow, the timing on that was impeccable. Right as Manfred spawns, Everest uses that Calcit monster to instantly burst his Phase 1 down. That was incredible.
And here comes that cannon call. Very well done.
All right.
Meanwhile, on Tortoise's screen, Manfred taking his nice stroll around the bottom.
Holy crap, this is going to come down to the wire right now. Tortoise-chan using those 2 defenders to stall out the entire slug farm, but those are going to be bombed out with the next nuke for sure. Everest right now dealing with the same strategy, using the nukes on the left side with that Nien. The Nien very, very tanky.
All right, here comes that cannon. Here comes the cannon on...
You see that? Look at the damage on Manfred. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that monster is disgusting. But, wait.
Okay.
It's gonna be close.
It is gonna be very close.
Wait! No way!
What
No
happened?
way! Everett is still in Phase 1! Everett is still in Phase 1! It's not going to end until that drone is dead! Technically, Tortoise has advantage!
Wait,
Tortoise
no
has time
way!
advantage! No way!
You're
Everett just
right.
left Phase 1! Everett just left Phase 1! This is Tortoise! No way!
Wait a second. This might be a lot closer than we think.
No way! Here's that cannon call. And leaving in, is that Tuya or who is that?
Okay, the timings are good right now.
Oh my god, it's gonna be... No, I genuinely think that unless Tortoise somehow screws up, this is a
Oh my god, you're
definitive
right. Yeah, this is the final
time
nuke he's waiting
advantage.
for.
This is a definitive time advantage.
Oh my god.
No way!
No way. Tortoise, the Franca just have to pop off.
We just need the kill. It's just the kill. It's gonna come down to if Franca can do this.
Oh my god.
No way! The comeback!
Oh
The comeback!
my god.
The comeback!
No way.
No way!
Tortoise.
Beautiful!
Holy
Beautiful.
shit, what did we just witness? One strategy that bursted out Manfred at the beginning, but did not get into Phase 2 instantly. And instead, Tortoise using Manfred.
For those of you in the chat who might have been confused as to why Everett's Phase 2 didn't pop, it's because if you kill Manfred immediately, then the Phase 2 trigger passes to the last surviving enemy of the first wave, which was the unnuked drone, which cannot be damaged.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous. We have not seen a comeback like that at all. Despite all odds, Tortoise is hanging in there.
Amazing.
Holy crap. Okay. This, I can't believe it. We jinxed it, honestly. This is all scripted. A 2-2. Oh my god.
Hey, paid actor, paid actor.
Actual paid actor. I can't believe this actually happened. These two final contestants not disappointing for the grand finals. Man, I'm shocked.
How are you gonna have a tournament after this?
I don't know. Nothing can top this at this point. Tortoise-chan versus Everick, the grandest of grand finals. This is actually crazy.
Anyone want to pull out some like hitherto unseen mechanics for this finale? Just asking.
All right, I guess it's time. This is the true, definitive final match of this entire tournament. Tortoise-chan versus Everick in the grand finals. Let's see the bands. All right. Everick starting out with, again, the Aurora ban, the staple that Tortoise has always championed. He hasn't even been able to use it. He's banned it every single time. What will Tortoise ban? Instead, Tortoise goes instantly for that Silver Ash ban. He knows it worked last time. He's going to do it again. Tortoise is confident that if he does the timing correctly, he is slightly, just very slightly ahead of Everick in his clear. Everick returning with that Amiya ban, Amiya caster. So same ban so far.
I'm trying to think of where all the cannon calls came in from the last round, and I think Tortoise's strat is so set in stone that the possibility of a wave 2 misfire is almost nil on Tortoise's strats, but for Everick's, I'm not sure. It's kind of all over the place. Yeah,
I think Everick at this point is probably thinking about every single strategy he can deploy to speed it up by just a few seconds, but Tortoise-chan, very confident with this 5-star squad. Remember, chat, that this is 5 stars. What an amazing usage of operators at this point. And I guess to finish out the bans, Everick is banning that Kurara to directly ban Tortoise's strategy, and Tortoise finishing off with that Posey ban. So honestly, not two different bans from the previous round. We'll just have to see how both of them play to their strengths in this final match.
Franka and Fartooth are both free, so who knows how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Also free as well, as people in the chat are pointing out.
You're right, yeah, Fartooth is free. That is a very strong operator that Everest has been using. But let's see the strategies turn out. Let the match begin, the final match of this tournament. Let's do this.
I want to see, will either of these players take a 13th unit to kind of seal the deal in case things go horribly wrong? Who knows? Will the time they spend looking for that 13th unit be worth it?
Oh, did you see right there? Everick decided...
Neither did.
Oh my god, both of them starting at the same exact time. Everick's PC a little faster. He has the slight advantage.
Neither of them want to take that support unit. Neither of them are willing to lose time on getting an extra 13th unit. We're just going. We're just going.
Wow, this is ridiculous. They know what kind of situation they are, how much those few seconds may matter in their clear, keeping that 2x on the entire time.
I wonder how the nerves must be.
Dude, Zai, I don't know if you saw, but I was watching Everick's screen in his selection, and he hovered over NTR for just a few seconds. He was thinking about it.
Oh man, but he's got his he abandoned his Scott. Oh wait, no, I was like he abandoned the Scotty, but there's the Scotty. Interesting. Using Scotty for that cannon call, that's a divergence from previous strats. Wonder what Everick's thinking now.
Wow. Yeah, I think he's trying something new, maybe thinking about a way to speed it up by just a few seconds. I'm not sure if this can be the case. Arketo shredding those enemies on the left side right now, dealing with the left side. All he has to focus on the right.
And Arketo's going to take that cannon call. So that's taken care of for free.
Wow. I wonder, what are the differences in the squad? I feel like the squads are roughly the same. Looking at both of these players, I don't even know if the bans even matter. They have answers to all the bans.
I think as I've said, I think we're going to see the difference come out in the phase or in the wave 2 transition, because
Yeah, let's see that.
that's going to be the major determiner of time.
Exactly. I think just as you mentioned right now, Everest dealing with Manfred's first phase very early once again, and Tortoise deciding to wait a little to use that in the second phase to charge up that nuke. Man, this is going to come down to a few seconds.
Tortoise is using the dual defender stall cannon as usual to clear out all those threats and make Manfred transition. So that's... Province getting a little distracted there. That's about as normal. Wait, is that Manfred in phase 2 on Everett's screen?
That is phase 2, yes.
It's happening again. It's happening again.
Oh my god, no, it's
The
gonna
drone is still there. The drone.
No, and Tortoise-chan not making a mistake. Entering phase 2 right now. He's ahead.
It's going to be close. It's going to be so close.
Oh no.
No, Everett brought Fartooth. This might save him.
Oh no, Tortoise-chan's ban of Silver Ash was the most key thing in this entire banning phase. Oh no.
No, well, Everett might be able to catch up with the Fartooth kill here.
Oh, you're right, the Fartooth.
Wait, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. No, I think this, unless Tortoise screws up, this looks like Tortoise, because here is that cannon call. Here is that last.
No way. Call. The final
here
cannon call. He's waiting, but Everett's dealing damage so quickly. It's coming.
Here it is. There's the Franca. There's the Kanta.
Wait, is this it? No way!
I am impressed. I am
Tortoise
impressed.
From the depths of hell. Oh my
Tortoise
god!
pulling it back, clawing back to victory.
No way! Tortoise out of nowhere, down 2-1 or 1-2. How did this happen?
The double drone blunder from Everick, letting Tortoise have just enough time to pull it back each time. Amazing.
Oh my god. Wow, sorry. That was a crazy grand finals to end this entire thing. Holy crap. I did not think this type of gameplay would come out in this series. Holy.
That was beautiful.
Oh my god.
And
I'm
also
speechless.
Very gut-wrenching.
Oh my god, I was so nervous. I didn't know who was gonna take it. It looked like Everest had it for a second, but oh my god, that was incredible. Wow. Can you believe it's over? This is crazy. Everest.
That was wild.
Yeah, Everest. That was an amazing fight. Thank you so much, and congratulations on placing second in this tournament and winning $50. Not a scam. Congratulations. And Tortoise, our grand champion of the Challenger Cup. Congratulations on walking away with all the fame and $100 to spend. You showed an amazing 5-star niche, something that we've never seen before. An amazing depth of gameplay and knowledge and adaptability. So congratulations, you fully deserve that.
Yeah. The levels there, like using Franca and Cora to tank to force cannon calls was utterly amazing, and the faith in Franca and Province, who you never see used, beautiful.
Beautiful. And I just want to remind everyone, guys, Tortoise was actually here yesterday doing a mock battle, and they were struggling to even clear. They couldn't even clear after 20 minutes. And look at him, 8 to 12 hours of grinding. One day later, a grand champion. Congratulations. Congrats. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. Well, Zai, thank you so much for co-hosting this with me. I think you brought out an amazing depth of flavor and analysis to the game that I could never bring out. So thank you so much. This was a pleasure to co-host with you.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
And hey, shout out to everyone that's been involved in this entire tournament. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the moderators that helped put this together with me. The moderators helped basically moderate the entire tournament from the top 64 brackets. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me just call them out real quick. Churro, Undusk, Wisekchek, Carmo, Iron Cobra, Darian, Who else? there's so many of y'all. I fucking forgot. Who do it? Assistant and Poi. Yes. Thank you to U8 for helping out with this entire tournament. And, you know, special thanks to Darian for running the back end of this live stream as well. It is a lot of time, a 6-hour commitment. So thank you all so much. And also one final additional announcement. Thank you to Rumby for doing the motion graphics for this tournament on such a short notice. Thank you so much. And to the music creators, Isaac Wolf and Lappy, for creating the custom banning phase music and the starting soon music for this tournament. Thank you so much. Of course, we can't forget, thank you to chat for supporting this. Guys, it's because we have such a big community in this gacha. Guys, this is a gacha game. This is not a real video game, right? But this is a gacha game when we have such a big community here to support such a cool event. Thank y'all so much. This has been a pleasure co-hosting this with Zai for y'all. Zai, any final words before we end?
Super fun. I didn't actually expect things to get this mechanically intense, but I am super glad I was here for it because I get to lose my shit over mechanics and have them appreciated. So thank you for hosting this, by the way. Please let me out of the basement.
What do you mean? This has been fun. You know what? Maybe we'll do this again. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how the community thinks about it. But thank you so much one final time. Everyone, thank you so much. Everyone, have a great night. Have a great Sunday or Monday, wherever you are. And we'll catch y'all next time. All right? Peace, everyone. Have a good night.
Strive till the phantoms are bruised.